All right, we are back on live, dude. We were just off for a minute and we're back now. Little minor difficulty. All right, let's get back in here. Let's get back in. Let's get back in. Let's see where we're at here. There we go.
To produce the very best atmosphere of liberty and
Alex Jones, ladies.
All right, let's take a look at this here, dude. All right, you guys ready? I'm gonna fire this back up. You guys ready? We're back online. What's up, Bowtie? And away we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, really glad to have you back.
Oh.
Alex Jones, ladies and gentlemen, really glad to have you back.
It's always great to be with you and your wonderful crew in Florida, but Maine is my favorite. This is truly a little slice of Mayberry.
Mildly demented Mayberry. Thank you.
The next phase, all the different proxy countries involved, this really is a new world war. The only really in there, you know,
in the United States is, it seems to bring other United States. So what, everyone's been focused on Israel, Gaza, the huge debate about Israel, United States, which is great, fine. But we sort of are ignoring other things that are happening here and abroad as we have that debate. And one of the things that seems to be happening that fewer Americans are aware of is the situation in Russia seems to be getting, between Russia and Ukraine and the United States and Europe, NATO, seems to be degrading quickly. Where is that going, do you think?
It's an extreme escalatory phase, 3.5+ years in. As you know, Trump says he's strongly considering giving them long-range Tomahawk cruise missiles. And Russia has said that that escalates into direct war. And they're basically calling it World War IV. The CIA called the Cold War World War III. So we are really in with all the ingredients we have with China, the North Korean troops being in Ukraine, all the different proxy countries involved. This is really is a new world war. The only question is, will it continue to escalate, which it is now. And in the next phase, we know that NATO has already been caught with Zelensky with Ukraine 2 years ago shooting missiles into Poland. They tried to blame on Russia. There's been those drones that they claim came out of Russia, but Russia says was basically a setup. A few months ago, you have Operation Spiderweb 3 months ago with smuggled drones as far as 4,000 miles away from Ukraine in Russia on its coast with Japan, with their Bear bombers being blown up, part of their nuclear triad. So imagine if that happened in America, and imagine if Russia had given Mexico the drones to do it. So all of this is NATO trying to suck the United States directly into full conflict. They've got a 250,000-person army, conscription starting up in parts of Europe, a descendant of, quote, peacekeeping force to Ukraine, really calling an invasion force a peacekeeping force. And then now, as I predicted, it was the next move, NATO claims that Russia is going into the zero phase or 0 hour, and that NATO's now putting out propaganda the last 48 hours that Russia has pre-positioned undercover
ancestors who did.
None of the blacks who are begging for it.
I've had ancestors who...
Do you believe that black people should receive reparations?
Yes.
You know, why? They didn't earn it. Why should they receive it?
I think working on those plantations for 400 years is...
None of them worked on a plantation.
Earned enough. What do you mean?
None of them worked on a plantation.
I didn't particularly work on the plantation, but I had ancestors who did.
None of the blacks who were begging for it.
I've had ancestors who did.
And how much should they get?
That I have no idea. I don't know, but we can determine a reasonable amount. Let's do this. Would you be in support of endowing black colleges to the level of, say, Harvard?
No, they've already done it with the black schools. Do you wish you had white privilege?
I think every black person wishes that they had white privilege.
Do you wish
if
you
I
had
had white privilege, I'd be a U.S. Senator today.
Do you wish you had white privilege?
Oh my God, bro. He says, if I had white privilege, I'd be a U.S. Senator today. That's what drives me crazy, bro, is everyone thinks like if you were just a white man, you could have anything you want. You could be any CEO, you could be you could be a senator, you could be the president of the United States. And what feminists and people like this guy fail to understand is all of these things are very, very, very hard work. You can't just wake up and oh, because I'm a white man, I get to be CEO of Apple. It doesn't work that way, bro. Everyone is killing themselves. All white men will try as hard as they can, do everything possible to become a CEO and will never make it in their lifetimes of one of these major companies. But what's up? Tamara says, who do I talk to about getting my privilege? I know. Tell me about it.
Yeah, sure. Why not? I'll take white privilege. Why not? I'd probably be a senator.
Why don't you, if you people are so unhappy with America, and you call yourselves African American, mommy Africa, right? Why don't you go back to your country?
Well, first of all, because black folk are the owners of the whole planet, everywhere belongs to us. And you can't say because you...
Black people are the owners of the whole planet. Everywhere belongs. And this is not a skit, dude. That's the crazy part about this. Let me bring this back. Hold on a second, bro.
Why not? I'll take white privilege. Why not? I'd probably be a senator.
I'd probably be a senator. Come on, man.
Why don't you, if you people are so unhappy with America, and you call yourselves African American, mommy Africa, right? Why don't you go back to your country?
Well, first of all, because black folk are the owners of the whole planet, everywhere belongs to us. And you can't say because you criticize, that makes you the most patriotic because you criticize so that America correct itself. I'm the most patriotic person you'll ever find because I want America to correct herself.
That's amazing. And correcting herself mean to do what?
Correct herself meaning to stop murdering us, to cease and desist killing us, cease and desist raping and robbing, cease and desist the unjust incarcerating of our people, cease and desist flooding our communities with drugs and alcohol, cease and desist poisoning our waters, cease and desist holding on to resources that never belonged to them in the first place and for benefiting from those things. Those are the things that I want them to do. And to, you know what? Show us the money. Show me the money.
See, I told
Show
you want
us
money.
the money.
Yes, because it belongs to us.
There you go, begging for money.
When we came over here in slave ships, was that racism?
No.
That wasn't racism?
Wow,
and for benefiting
bro.
from those things, those are the things that I want them to do. And to, you know what? Show us the money.
Show us the money.
What the? That's amazing.
Are you out of your cotton picking mind?
Are you out of your cotton picking mind?
Come on.
See, I told you you want money.
Yes,
Begging
because
for
it
money.
belongs to us.
There you
It
go,
belongs
begging
to
for
us.
money.
When we came over here in slave ships, was that racism?
No.
That
It
wasn't
wasn't.
racism?
He just playing.
Why do you
What
say
kind of
that?
show we on, yo?
Why do you say that was racism?
To capture and force people to go somewhere that they don't want to go.
And who were the racists promoting that, doing that? Who were the people doing that?
The so-called white man.
No, that's not true.
It's not true.
not
Black
true.
people were sold into slavery by blacks.
That's a lie.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
That was not true. It was not white man that went and got the slaves or got the black people, rounded them up. No, actually black people in their own countries rounded up their own fellow black people, sold them to the Arabs. The Arabs were the ones that brought them around and sold them to the rest of the world.
Wealthy. So that's not
Let's
true,
go back. Hold
promoting
on.
That, doing that. Who were the people doing that?
The so-called white man.
No, that's not true.
It's
Nope.
not true.
Black people were sold into slavery by blacks, wealthy, to the Arabs. It was the Arabs who sold the blacks across the world. It wasn't white people who just tiptoed over to Africa and just bought white, took white folks. They were being sold by other black people. Is that racism for black? And they are still doing that today in parts of Africa where blacks are enslaved by other blacks and Arabs. Is that
Well,
racism?
every black person
Wait a
is
minute,
not
wait a
the
minute,
s-
wait
a minute. Is that
is not the
racist?
Okay,
same
so
either.
you wanna justify
Real resistance for black people is freedom, and respecting our freedom. It means
Freedom from
respecting
what,
the fact
though?
that we
From
can
what?
live
From who?
freedom to live however we want to live.
But white people don't care how you guys live.
But that's not necessarily true.
No, they want you to go away and live.
Well, at least from history, it tells us that our image, our aesthetics have always been criticized and manipulated by white people.
No,
Yeah.
it's not true.
Yeah.
They lied to you again. Would you date a white man?
Yeah, I would.
But how you going to have your space away from him?
I can always have my space. I can always create that space.
Would you believe me if I told you that all this stuff that you've been taught and other black kids are being taught about the black thing and white privilege and all that mess is not real? It's just you guys are being brainwashed by angry blacks who want to control you in order to gain power and wealth for themselves. Would you believe me if I told you that's what's really going on?
No, I wouldn't.
You would not believe me.
I would not.
I just read an article in the LA Times last week about racism, and the white people that were polled said that there wasn't really a racism problem, and the black people who were polled said that there was a racism problem. Now, who's speaking the truth there?
The white folks.
Not necessarily. I'm a white folk, and I don't believe that racism isn't a problem.
There's no such thing as racism.
Well, that doesn't, just because it's a cultural construct doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
No, it doesn't exist.
No, really.
Do you believe racism?
You're a black man, and you're going to sit here and tell me that racism doesn't exist.
And I grew up on a plantation. Racism does not exist. It's a lie. Do you disagree with that?
Oh, please. I pastor an African-American church.
James says black people took them. So we're talking about slaves and how it began. And I knew this part. You said black people took them, then sold them to Arabs. I knew that part. But then you said Arabs and were shipped by the Portuguese who transported them. I didn't know what the Portuguese. That's new.
I see it daily.
But you're a
Good to
white
know.
woman. You pastor in a black church.
Yeah.
Where's your proof that racism exists?
The proof is in the
She's a pastor of a black church as a white woman.
differences in their salaries.
In
It's
their
in
salary? That's not true. I mean, people work at different levels and at different times and different jobs, so that's not proof,
I have women in my congregation who are caregivers,
right?
and they are paid to the person less than the women of other races, other colors that work for the same agency.
Okay, so I pay my black employees more than I do my white
for
ones.
you.
More, is that racism?
I'm not sure what that is.
Why not?
Racism is a power differential.
I'm discriminating against my white employees. I'm paying my black people, and my white employees are better
No,
workers.
it is discrimination.
Is
There's
that
no doubt about
racism?
it, but I'm not sure it's racism.
Why not?
Because the white folks still call the shots.
But I'm calling the shot.
Well,
The
and
shots.
if you want to
I'm calling the
discriminate in
shot.
that manner, I don't know that anybody would ever stop you.
Is it racism?
No.
Why, if the white man does it, I don't do that, by the way. So why is it if the white man did it, it's racism? If I do it, it's not.
Great question. Damn.
That's amazing.
Got her, bro.
What the?
Because
Satan is your daddy. Satan is your daddy, woman. Do you believe white people are superior?
No.
Do you believe in white
let's go back. Hold on, bro. That was good. Hold
Anybody
on.
would ever.
I pay my black people more than I pay my white people. Am I racist?
Racism.
Am I discriminating? Hold on.
Discriminate in that manner, I don't know that anybody.
The
and
shots.
if you want
I'm
to
calling the
discriminate in
shots.
that manner, I don't know that anybody would ever stop you.
Is it racism?
No.
Why, if the white man does it, I don't do that, by the way. So why is it if the white man did it, it's racism? If I do it, it's not.
Damn.
Because
Do you believe white people are superior?
No.
Do you believe in white supremacy?
No. I don't believe in white supremacy and the fact that they're supreme, but the white man does have the power to lock black men up, black women up. He does have the power to put drugs in our community, not in their community. He does have the power to hire.
So do black people. Black people have the right to lock up white people and their fellow black people, and they do. Black people lock up their fellow black people at high rates because there's a lot of black police officers. There is, especially in Chicago, where there's a lot of black on black crime. You have black people committing violent crime on other black people, and then you have black officers locking up those black people. It's a whole thing. I don't know. So what are you talking about?
Fire. So he does have that power.
What does that feel like to hear yourself blaming and complaining about another man and that you can't make it because some other man to keep you down? I don't know what that feels like. I've never had that in my life. What does that feel like to believe that a white man can keep you down, so you got to complain about it rather than overcoming it?
What's up? What's up, Random, Han, Spider, Bowtie, everyone? James, what's up, guys?
Feel like?
Well, me being an alpha male myself, I don't know what that feels like.
Are you complaining for other beta males?
No, I've never said that, though.
Getting back to your question of why white people are blamed, slavery.
Slavery?
Was a white person, a white created problem, I guess.
Why had nothing to do with slavery?
James in the chat says, what if the chief of police is black? Does that mean that black people are locking up white people? I would say it's just police arresting criminals. That's what it is, but they want to make it about race. They want to separate all of us and sort us into different categories and say, you have this color skin, you have that, you came from this kind of place, you have this kind of chromosome, and so you should feel this way about this. It's like, dude, we're all human. Leave us alone.
Oh, well, most of the slave owners were white.
In places like Tennessee, I believe, or one of there, a lot of black people owned slaves in those days.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it didn't happen.
And it was the Arabs who went over
Damn, Random's on a good one today. He's on a good Sunday today.
to Africa, Mommy Africa, and bought the slave from other black people and took them around the world. It wasn't the white people. And anyone that could afford a slave bought one.
I mean...
So what do you think about the attack on white men?
Well,
Is it right?
I understand it.
You understand it?
So I understand why African Americans were angry at white people. Because
it's impossible you could be wrong, but that the problem's with you and it has nothing to do with white people?
I don't think that that's true, no.
It's amazing. It's really amazing to me that black people feel that white people are superior. It explains a lot, too.
I love it. Could it be?
I don't think that
people, because
it's impossible you could be wrong, but that the problem's with you and it has nothing to do with white people?
I don't think that that's true, no.
It's amazing. It's really amazing to me that black people...
Did you guys know that there is a cost that employers would have to pay if they want to discriminate against black people? It's an economic cost.
People feel that white
I'll
people are
explain
superior. It explains a lot too. When I hear and see them protesting.
Think about that. Why do you think there would be an economic cost to employers to discriminate against black people or any other people, any minority or any people?
Talking about white supremacy, because if they didn't believe it, they wouldn't be saying it. So they do believe white people are superior. And that's why they beg for reparations, affirmative action. And
I think you're conflating white supremacy, which is something that you've kind of applied to this conversation, and not necessarily anything that, I don't know that anyone, I mean, I'm sure some people believe it, but I don't know if that's necessarily the truth that I would
You
speak
say
to.
in your book, white supremacy frame your self-image.
Yes.
And what do you mean by that?
I mean that, if you look in our culture, particularly as a woman, white women are, championed more. They're seen as the beauty standard. I am, in a lot of ways, the opposite of what is seen as beautiful in this country. And as a young woman, discovering myself, developing my self-esteem, looking for representation, I didn't often find it because of white supremacy. Because,
wow.
Yeah.
Do the white women make you feel that way?
Absolutely not.
They don't make you feel that way on your own?
I'll tell you, just as soon as this short clip is done, I'll tell you.
I mean, I don't feel that way anymore because I've become very comfortable with myself as a grown woman. I'm speaking more about how I felt as a 12-year-old girl.
But when you felt that way, did the white women make you feel that way?
No.
And so why do you blame
it's not about
them
individual people. It's about a system and the way that our culture is presented. It's not necessarily about any individual person or even, small group of people. It is a systemic global issue.
And so your self-image then was the white woman better and prettier and better than me?
That's what the world thinks. I don't know that I
Did you think
actually
that?
believe that.
So how did it frame your image if you didn't think that?
No, but I'm saying.
So there is an inherent cost if an employer wants to discriminate against any subset of people. It could be black people, for example, there's studies that show if employers that are hiring for minimum wage job, or let's just say low paying jobs, if they discriminate against black people, they have an inherent cost to doing that, because now they're, first of all, let me go to this screen. First of all, they are removing a whole set of applicants. So now their applicant pool is reduced. So now there's less people that they have to choose from to hire for those jobs, okay? That's first thing is they're reducing the supply of people that can be hired for those jobs if they, let's say, don't want to hire black people. The second thing is that many times studies show that they are removing or discriminating against the very people that would work those jobs for less money. So if they discriminate against those people, now they have an inherent increase cost of labor if they want to hire white people, right? So if they want to say, I don't like blacks, I only like whites to work in my company, all the studies show they will end up paying more to do that. That's an inherent cost. And now there's another thing. Now, did you know that if you impose a minimum wage law on a business that employs people in low paying jobs, if you impose a minimum wage law on them, did you know that causes or allows for discrimination with no cost at all? Why? Because now there's a minimum wage that you're paying. So there's an increase of this, there's a minimum wage because they're saying, oh, this other wage you were paying before is not enough. You should be paying this much. So then they say, okay, well then I don't need to hire these black people. I'll hire white people at this minimum wage. And guess what? At the same time, now they're going to figure out, the employers are going to figure out how to have less employees altogether. So they will literally have less employees. They will learn how to get the job done with less people working for them, and they will end up hiring white people or other people. There's no more cost to discriminating like there was before.
So you think Black Lives Matter?
I don't need to say Black Lives Matter. When I say all, I mean all.
So you're including black people?
But I know that black lives doesn't matter to black people.
So you're including black people when you say all lives matter?
Yes.
So that means when I say Black Lives Matter.
Hans in the chat says minimum wage is historically for pushing out minorities. We have actual proof. I'll gather some data. I already have the data. I have the books. I have the references from the books, the citations, and everything. The data it stands for itself. When there are minimum wage, here's what happened. Before minimum wage laws were effective, you had black teenagers from 16 years old till 19 years old had the same rate of unemployment as white teenagers from 16 to 19. When minimum wage laws went into effect, not only did all of teenage unemployment double from then till now, it's doubled, more than double, but the percentage of black unemployment has doubled that of white teenage unemployment ever since any sort of minimum wage was put into place and made effective.
You agree? Because you think all lives matter.
I grew up in Alabama under the Jim Crow laws. We couldn't live in certain places like that.
Right.
But we had family. We were better off then than blacks are today when they can do and live wherever they want. Why weren't we worse off then under the Jim Crow laws than the blacks are today?
Because, first of all, the reason you grew up under Jim Crow laws is because there were white people who were racist. If you think it's all of a sudden disappeared in 50 years, then I think that you don't actually have a real grasp on how tenacious some of these beliefs and prejudices are. And the fact that the black family has suffered from many other things, which it clearly has, and I'm not disagreeing with you about that, doesn't mean that therefore there's no white racism in America.
One of the main, so this that I'm talking about, this happened right around 1950s. Okay, there was minimum wage laws that were in place in the early 1900s. However, due to inflation, those minimum wages were not effective because because employers were paying more than the set minimum wage. Does that make sense? So then, right around 1950s, when they started increasing, 1950s, 1960s, they started increasing the minimum wage. They kept increasing minimum wage till it became not only effective and it was the minimum wage, but it went up. That's when you had the disparities between black teenagers and and black people as a whole and white people as a whole. Whereas black people were their rate of unemployment doubled and more, and it stayed that way. It has stayed that way all the way up until now.
Listen to this.
Okay. All right. Look, I mean, I didn't really come here to try to convince you that racism exists.
No. We're just.
I'm saying if you don't believe it.
No, I know it doesn't.
Okay. How do you know? How do you know?
Because.
So if I hear if I hear a white person make a racist remark, what am I hearing?
It's
not true?
First of all, it's not a racist remark. You hear an angry person. It's all based on what they're saying and why they're saying it. You hear an angry person making a comment about someone they don't like.
But what if they make it about a race?
They're still making it about someone they don't like.
But what if they're making it about a whole race?
It's still about people that they don't like. It has nothing to do with the color. It has everything to do with the character of.
Random says, now we have half as many bathrooms and water fountains. And in the chat, Dennis says, I am racist against all the Indians who came to Canada and took all our work away from born Canadians. Yeah. Tamara says, the blame game is strong. Great, big, beautiful Bill. Yeah. So, Random, you have something. He says water manufacturers all over the world went out of business. So there's also something to say about what happened when they got rid of segregation, and there's actual studies and proof behind that, and I'll talk about that too if you want.
When you grew up in the Jim Crow laws, was there racism?
No.
So you don't think that when in Nazi Germany was there anti-Semitism?
Let me say this, and then I get to that. I want to.
I think you're a little bit playing with words.
No. In reality, our battle is a spiritual battle, a warfare between good and evil. It's either good or it's evil. It's either wrong or it's right. And so whenever you become angry, it causes you to look down on your fellow man.
Random, I know you're joking, but there is actually literal truth and case studies that prove, kind of what you're somewhat alluding to in your joke.
It causes you to blame them. It causes you to judge your fellow man. But if you don't have an anger, you would never do that, and you're able to see people for whom they are, and you deal with them accordingly. But the moment you become angry, you lose that sight of that.
James says he sent an awesome post about Mark of the Beast. Okay, so that's on our Discord. So guys, we have a Discord. If you want to share videos with me that you want me to play, let me know. Join our Discord. I'm gonna go check that out, and I might play that.
Black people, the smart ones you're talking about, they can't even get into the average college because they're not smart enough. They need affirmative action. I did a story recently where black people could not pass the air traffic control test. So Jesse Jackson organization, according to the story, and the Black Air Traffic Control Union or something like that, they got together and got with the air traffic controllers and decided that they were going to let black people cheat on the air traffic controller test and then hold back the whites and Asian and others who were smarter and more qualified because blacks were not smart enough to pass the test. And so now when you fly back home, there's a possibility you're going to be on a plane. There's some black pilot.
I don't like to fly.
So what? You don't fly?
I don't like to fly.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays. Because
this guy, where'd you get him from? This guy.
Because that
I like
pilot,
your humor. Your humor's good.
Can you see coming in for a landing down in
Oh, here we go. Everybody here's laughing. It's ridiculous.
Can you see coming in for a landing, and you have this black air traffic controller, the pilot like, air traffic control, about to land. Which landing?
He didn't even get to the joke yet. It's funny.
Like, which landing?
Oh, goodness.
Land should I come in on, number 1 or number 2?
Is this going to be aired in Harvard or Princeton, you think? This
All
show?
over the world.
Well, you remember.
Oh, Lord. I was born at night, but not last night. Okay?
And so the air traffic controller say, Mr. Pilot, come in on landing roll 1. And then
Mark Furman, dropping the N-bomb more than Eazy-E on a NWA album.
But what's wrong with that?
What's wrong with saying the N-word?
Right.
Nothing that the windows are up. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna get killed after this. I don't know if it's considered racism, but when people hear I'm Jewish, you're like, oh, you must be pretty cheap, or you must be pretty good with a buck. To me, that's racist.
But why is that? Jews are known to be good with money and tight.
Well, because I don't think you can say that about all Jews. Like,
Have you ever met a Jew that wasn't good with money?
I mean, you got me on that one. I'm not gonna lie, you got me on that one. But it's. I don't think you can ever group any race or religious people. You can't say all Arabs are terrorists. Well, I mean, but you know what I'm saying, like.
Then why is it whenever you and I are around Arabs, we hold our neck?
I rest my case, dude. Let's look at Trump. Trump did had a few little things that he did. Dude, Trump has been not sleeping. He's flying around the world. Let's see what he did here.
Thank you very much. It's a great honor to be here. So many friends in this room and so many new friends. I want to thank Prime Minister Anwar for hosting us, spectacular man, and for organizing this year's ASEAN Summit here in beautiful Kuala Lumpur. As you know, this has been an incredibly successful day for Malaysia. Great honor to be here. I promised I'd be here when the Prime Minister helped us so beautifully with our peace treaty among two very
nice. Tamara got her coffee. I need to get some tea, dude. I gotta get Miss Medication. Can I have some tea? Come on, woman.
friendly countries, I think we can say right now.
Let's see if we can trigger some liberals. Come on, woman. Go back into the kitchen where you belong and make me some tea.
And here I am. It's really something to see what you've done for the United States and for all nations across this magnificent region. They're all watching and they're seeing what's taking place. Thank you very much. It's a great honor. Today, the Prime Minister and I signed a major trade deal between the United States and Malaysia, and together we took part in the signing of a historic peace agreement ending the hostilities between Cambodia and Thailand. We're calling it the Kuala Lumpur Peace Accords.
Beautiful Bill says he's having broth and making a sandwich. And I heard there's good protein in broth.
I once again want to congratulate Prime Minister Hun Manet of Cambodia and Prime Minister Anut. Magnificent, great achievement that she was very proud of. I also want to thank the other.
Okay, let's get to the point.
Conflicts that we've ended in peace after 3,000 years. This is like this. The Middle East will have peace after 3,000 years. This is a very strong peace. It's going to be an everlasting peace. It's true. It really is a true pleasure to be back with all of you in Southeast Asia, home of some of America's most into.
Let's see what he's talking about. Mama forward
the United States is having its golden age. Last year, we were a country that was doing very poorly under a different semi-leadership. I don't even call
James Henry in the chat is triggering everybody, bro. You're gonna trigger these lefties, bro. Be careful. He said Trump Vance 2028. Let's go.
leadership.
Yes, bone broth and stock. They're really good for you. And then I recently find out they got protein, so Miss Medication been making it for me when I go to the gym.
But this year we're doing numbers that nobody ever thought it was possible for any country to do. We'll be, at the end of my first year, over $20 trillion worth of investment into the United States. There's no country anywhere that's ever done anything close to that. The United States last year, for the 4 years, it was announced.
I love how Trump goes to all these right now. This is him in these in Asia. I love how he goes and he just dunks on everyone. He just goes out there and he just starts dunking. We did this. We're gonna have this much money, $20 trillion. Nobody's ever done that in the history of the world. Not a single country. We did it. Not you. That was us. That's the United States. With 20 trillion. That was us. He just pulls up to them and he just starts dunking, bro. Probably kinda right in the chat says it's all lies, and I think probably that's a lie.
That's a lie. And $1 trillion.
Tell us what's a lie. I want to know what's a lie.
And we're going to be doing over 20. That's quite a difference. I'd like to just say the United States is for you. Committed to a free and open and thriving Indo-Pacific.
Tomorrow, so that's a gentle reminder. It's so good. He just pulls up and starts dunking. Hey, we did this, we did that. You didn't. Nobody could ever do it. I was able to. No one before me could do it. Everyone tried to do it, but I came, and then when I decided I'm going to do it, then I did it. Then it happened. Now we're the best.
My message to the nations of Southeast Asia is that the United States is with you 100%. And we intend to be a strong partner and friend for many generations to come.
Look how it works. I ask and I receive. Look, it's already brewing. There's my tea. It's steeping, sorry. There you go. There it is. It's steeping, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. You want to see it up close here? Here. Boom, baby. He's got some beautiful tea. Steeping in there. Ooh, let's do this. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Some caffeine, baby. Let's do this.
1 year ago, we were in a different position, but now we're in the best position we've ever been. And I really do. I say it's the golden age of America, the golden age of the United States. Together we'll create incredible prosperity for the nations on both sides of the Pacific Ocean and to seize new opportunities for all of our people. It's really been an amazing experience. I've been here for a day, but it's been an amazing experience to see some of the things that you've done. And the Prime Minister made sure I saw everything, every single thing. When I said, well...
Probably kind of right in the chat says, talk about Epstein files, please. We don't have to. You guys on the left talk about it so much. You guys already covered that for us. You guys are good. I think we're all good.
That's okay. Maybe I'll take it easy for a little while. I said, no, I have other things to show you.
You know what else you guys talked about on the left? You guys talked about Trump 2028. You guys talked about that so much that you guys literally are manifesting it.
We even rode in the car together, and he's something. But America's ties to this region date back to early days of our republic when fearless Americans voyaged across the Pacific to establish outposts of trade and diplomacy here in Asia. Those bonds forged so long ago continue to strengthen and grow to this day, including here in Kuala Lumpur. I'm looking forward to speaking with many of you.
This is entertaining. Now, in the chat, probably says, why do you love a dictator? Is it a cult thing? I'm trying to understand. It's not us that loves it. You guys are the ones that are loving it. You guys are talking about Trump as a dictator. He's a king. He's a this. He's a that. You know, you are the ones. So it's entertaining as hell, to be honest.
Today and also at APEC in South Korea later this week, where we're headed.
We love the policies and all the stuff that he's doing. You guys love the word king. And you love 2028. So good. You guys manifest all this stuff. We don't have to do nothing. You just sit back and watch you guys create.
Once again, thank you very much, Mr. Prime Minister, and thank you to everyone in this room. You are spectacular leaders. You are incredible people. Your energy, your genius, your everything you do. And I say it truly, everything you touch turns to gold. And you can be very proud of it. Other parts of the world are not like this. You're very special people, and it's a very, very special place. Thank you very much. It's a great honor to be with you. Thank you.
All right, we got Trump. So Trump is busy while you guys were hanging out, enjoying your Friday night, Saturday, Sunday. Dude's flying around. Dude doesn't sleep. I aspire to work as hard as Trump when I'm his age. Here's another one. So this was his talk with Malaysia. Here's another one right here. Watch. Signing documents with Malaysia.
Not as interesting as yours.
That's a very interesting signature he's got. Wait a minute, I'll show that.
He's going to show. Let's see the signature. I want to see this. Don't you love Trump? The stuff he talks about? He's so relatable. He's human. Yeah, I love that about it.
Look at his signature. How interesting is that? Right? It's very different. It's very good. Very artistic.
Let's see his signature and Trump's. I'll make it bigger for you guys. Hold on. Let me make this big. Check it out. His signature on the left and Trump's. So, oh man.
Excellent. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Congratulations. Congratulations, and thank you, Jameson. Great job. Appreciate it. Marco, thank you very much.
Kuala Lumpur. What are they signing? What are you guys signing? Tell us.
Beautiful country tomorrow. We have some very. Then we'll stay here tonight, and we'll head off to a very beautiful country tomorrow. We have some very good, interesting deals, as you know, to be made.
Beautiful Bill has some words for you guys in the chat. He says, remember when y'all godless liberals elected a child-sniffing pervert and defending his son?
And the following day, as you know, we meet President Xi of China.
Yeah, we all.
Probably kind of right. You need to look up inflation. You have the wrong numbers, dude. It is 3%, and that is the lowest it's been since Biden. Biden had it at 9%, and then he tried to lower it towards election time so he could win an election. But then Trump has been able to keep it down to 3%.
And that should be.
Yeah, get your numbers right.
Are you going to be there?
Because that's a lie.
That's a lie.
That's a lie.
That's a lie.
Lie.
That's a lie.
Really? Really?
Really?
Really?
Really? Oh, good. At APEC, yes. So it'll be. It's quite a period. It's quite an interesting time, isn't it? Huh?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, we got Trump over here, guys. Trump over here as well. Look at him. He's all the Cambodia, Thailand.
The Prime Minister of Malaysia.
The guy's everywhere, guys.
The Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Thailand.
Damn, look at that. Miss Medikation. You want to come say hello? Come say hello. Come on. Real quick. She's coming, guys. Miss Medikation coming to say hello. What's up?
Hi. Have fun.
Go back to the kitchen, woman.
Yeah.
You're going to make these liberals crazy, bro. You're going to make them go crazy.
And the President of the United States of America.
Thank you, James.
Well, this is so.
What do you keep talking about inflation, dude? What inflation last 12 months? What are you talking about? Are you guys okay with this or what? Where is last 12 months? Last 12 months. Is this the last 12 months right here? No, that's till 2024. Look where it was under Joe Biden. Last 12 months, inflation. Where are we at? Where's our 12-month inflation, bro? Where is it? Inflation. Let's see here. Last 12 months of inflation. Nah, I can't find it. But inflation dropped down to 2.9%. Right now, it's like 3.1%. It's like 0.1% higher. It's basically the same.
Because we did something that a lot of people said couldn't be done, and we saved maybe millions of lives on this one peace deal itself. And I'll tell you what makes me so happy is the two countries we're dealing with, and the third that helped so much. I appreciate so much. Maybe it couldn't have been done without you, but they really like each other. I'm not used to that when I do these deals. Usually there's a lot of hatred. They liked each other, so it made it a little bit easier. But millions of people are alive today because of this peace treaty. So before I begin, I want to extend our deepest condolences to the Prime Minister, Newton, as well as His Majesty.
Oh, here it is. Here's inflation. Here's inflation in the last 12 months. There you go. There's inflation. And if you look at the last year, you guys are curious about inflation. This is the last year. And you can see when I go over it, you can see the numbers. This is under Biden, 9%, 10% for food, 9%. And when you get to here, this is 2022, 7%. Then when they realize, oh, shoot, we got to do something because we need to get reelected, they try to bring it down. They did everything they could to bring it down. They brought it down. In 2024, 3.4%, still 3%. August 2024, 2.9%. Then December of 2024, right before Trump, it's 2.9%. 2.9% in December of 2024. Then you go into all the way till now. What is it? August 2025, 2.9%. There you go. You see that? Now you're calling me names. I just proved you wrong. Now you're calling me names. Now I'm going to kick you out. Because you can't even have a debate and get proved wrong and act like a normal human being. So you're going to be out. Let's go like this. Boom, boom, boom. See you later. Nice chatting with you. You got worked. You got schooled on inflation.
See the King of Thailand and the entire nation on the passing
You just got schooled.
Her Majesty, Queen Sirikhet, the Queen Mother.
Guys, we're open for debate. We're open for discussion. But if you're going to call names when you lose on a specific topic for no reason, you're just going to call people names. I mean, you can call people names. We have thick skin. But if you can't have a conversation and just start kicking and screaming like a 2-year-old when you don't get your, whatever it is that you want, then we're going to say goodbye.
And a beautiful, incredible woman who is.
Here he is again, telling everybody how amazing he is, and only he could do it. I love it. Let's go, Trump. You did it, bro. The Great White Hope.
The Great White Hope.
So respected all over the world, actually respected. I know the people of Thailand will remember her forever as the embodiment of dignity, kindness, and grace. This just happened. But this is a woman who is so loved and respected. Today we honor the memory by bringing the blessing of peace to the nation she dearly loved. She loved this nation like few people love their nations. This is a momentous day for all of the people of Southeast Asia as we sign a historic.
So what is he signing? Let's see what he says. He's signing something historic. There's always something historic. I love you, bro.
Agreement to end the military conflict between Cambodia and Thailand. And we're so honored to be involved in that. It's so important to me. Two great countries, but they were going at it. I want to congratulate the two courageous leaders, and that's what they are. They were courageous, who are taking this monumental step. Prime Minister Hoon Manet and Prime Minister Newton. I also want to thank Prime Minister Anwar of Malaysia. I called him right at the beginning and I said, you know, you have two countries that are fighting right next to you. We need a third place. We need a sort of a neutral place, right? And he was there, and I said to him, you know, if we get this solved, I'm coming to your country. And I told the truth, didn't I? Huh?
What's up, Pat? Happy Sunday, bud.
A lot of times they
We dodge one, bro. We dodge one, James, big time.
say that, and that's the last you ever see. But I felt I had an obligation to come because you were so great, and the two men alongside of you are so great. Historic figures now. They're really historic figures. So I felt it was an obligation I had. I told it to you. That was about a year ago, and all of this has taken place. It's been so beautiful to see. It had started, and there was a lot of killing. And then when we got it stopped very quickly in this case.
Trump 2028.
Some we did in
The Great White Hope.
The Great White Hope, ladies and gentlemen.
The Great White Hope.
32 years. Took 32 years to get them stopped. They were fighting for a long time. This was very nasty, but it was stopped very quickly before it started. And the two leaders have great respect for each other. But the Prime Minister played a very important role in helping convene the two sides for discussions here in Kuala Lumpur. Earlier this year, an armed clash broke out along the border of these two countries. Really ancient countries by most standards. They've been long time, tremendous cultures, resulting in numerous deaths and thousands and thousands of people displaced from their homes. It was starting because of America's strong commitment to stability and peace in this.
World Debt says not a beta. Don't be a beta. Don't forget, guys. Don't be a beta.
Beta male. Man, be a alpha male, not a beta male.
You are a Trump hater, and you are a beta male.
You are a Trump hater, and you are a beta male.
Region and every region where we can do it. My administration immediately began working to prevent the conflict from escalating.
All right, so he prevented another conflict from escalating, and let's jump in at JLP, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. Let's go. Ready, set, and let's go.
If black men and women had continued to get married and men led the women and children in the right way to go, would black people be in the condition that they are now?
No.
And so why not go back to that rather than blaming someone else for it? Because the black people gave up their lives by giving it to the Democrats under Lyndon B. Johnson when they said, we'll take care of you, but you gotta, you gotta not have a man, you have government programs. And then
and why would they suggest that? They suggested that for a reason, right? Because they probably seen in the future that it would probably be a fucked up situation if they created that, right?
No, it became an effed up situation because they gave into it.
Well, you remember...
and it was encouraged by...
Jacob gave his birthright to his brother for a...
Holy cow. Timothy Concepcion says in the chat, says, Rogan mentioned Trump should run for California governor after presidency. Can you imagine Trump in Cali, baby? Oh, damn, bro. Imagine. Josiah in Instagram says, let me get on here, U.S. veteran. Josiah, get on here, baby. Go to YouTube. Okay, that's where you see us chatting. And then if you want to come on, I'll take a caller, bro. I'll do a live call. I have Discord. You could jump on the Discord and we do live on the Discord. You just do a phone call, or you could show yourself.
Bowl of beans, a pot of beans. Yeah, Jacob or Esau. Yeah, Esau.
Where's Jacob now?
It doesn't matter. We're Jacob now? He's in us. We're Jacob.
I rest my case.
We're Jacob.
He should be in the ground.
No, he's in us. It's DNA.
But listen, would black people be in that condition?
Bro, I want to see where he said Trump for California, bro. Can you imagine Governor Trump? I'll take it, dog. I don't care. Let's do that.
Not giving up the men for the government.
No, they wouldn't, trust me.
They would not. So why not fix that situation rather than blaming white people?
The only way you're going to fix that, Jesse, is with a new religion.
No.
Yes.
The only way you're going to fix that is by black men returning to God and then getting married and having children and being in control of their family.
As a Christian?
Huh?
As a Christian?
As a man, period.
No, as a Christian.
Let's see.
What Donald Trump should do is when he leaves the office, run for governor of California. Just take over California and fix it. It would be hilarious if he did. It would be one of the funniest things of all time if an 82-year-old man steps into the office of governor of California. We're going to fix everything. You've got a problem with water. I know how to get the water.
Oh my God, bro.
Hilarious. What
Can you
Donald Trump
imagine?
should do is when he leaves the office, run for governor of California. And just take over California and fix it.
Wow.
It would be hilarious if he did. It would be one of the funniest things of all time if an 82-year-old man steps into the office of governor of California. We're going to fix everything. You've got a problem with water. I know how to get the water.
That would be amazing, bro.
How did you become gay? That's amazing. That's amazing.
That would be amazing, bro.
I'm asking.
It will help to be a Christian, yeah.
It would help. So
Yeah.
as
that would be
everybody's
insane.
obsessed with black people for some reason. They can't stop talking about us.
Oh,
and we
I
have
know.
no power, we have nothing and no money, nothing, and everybody talks about us and hates us
why.
for some reason.
I know why.
Why? Why is that?
Because blacks are the most
Influential.
hated group of people on this side of heaven, because the blacks are so angry and mean and nasty and afraid and begging and whining and complaining that most people don't like them anymore.
That's true.
They're sick of them.
That's true. Me too.
You're sick of them too?
Yeah.
You're sick
but I
of
love
black
them.
people?
Yeah, but I love them.
And why do you love them?
Because that's my duty. That's what
Why
I'm
are you
supposed to do.
sick of them?
For what you just said, because of the complaining. Like, even like in the sense of like, if I say, okay, I understand what Trump is saying, you know?
Yeah.
It's like people automatically turn negative to you. And it's like, so if I say I like Hillary or if I like anything that you say, I'm good. And it's like, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, it is.
That's why I asked you, what is a coon? It's like, I started thinking about it. I was like, because I watch you, Jesse. You're a very intelligent, you know how to listen, right? And I notice when people ask you a question, how you skip past their questions, what you don't like them doing to you, but you do it, they're not as determined as you are, right? So like with Tyreek, when he asked you about the Jews being stupid because of them being put into the Holocaust, and you just changed the subject.
The Jews being stupid?
Yeah, because you had brought up a point of, he kept saying white supremacy. You said, well, the black man,
Newsom would lose big time, Timothy. Big time. It would be unbelievable. I can't type my keywords like three. I don't understand this one. He says with Trump, I don't know why he keeps putting a H at the end of Trump, but with Trump in Cali, we put all the PG&G power line underground, no more fires.
well, he must be stupider than the white man if the white man is able to do all this stuff, right?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You're right.
You have to be stupid to give up your rights to bear arms to anyone.
Yeah, Stacey Abrams is talking
The
about
government.
that.
Yeah, Stacey Abrams, same
Yeah,
thing.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So isn't that stupid?
Definitely.
Yeah. So I was right.
Oh, PG&E. Gotcha. Okay, cool. Yeah.
No, I was saying that you averted his question. No, you were right about this the supremacy thing, but he brought up the Jew and you didn't answer it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm just saying that those people that you catch up, they don't do you like that. They don't see it.
Do you have questions for me? Before we run out of time.
Yeah. Are you a man?
Yes. How about you?
Yeah, definitely. Why haven't you chosen to have a woman to be a head over your woman?
Why wasn't I chosen to?
No, why haven't you chosen to do that?
It wasn't in God's plan for me yet. Doesn't mean it would never happen. But I literally thought that I would grow up and have 10 kids. That was my plan. I wanted to get married, have 10 kids. Unfortunately, I had one out of wedlock. And I didn't want to do that again because my son ended up suffering, not having me there. And so I didn't want to, if I couldn't do it right, I'm not going to do it. Is it wrong to have children out of wedlock?
Hell no. Who says it's wedlock?
Huh?
Who says it's wedlock?
What do you mean?
Who says it? Who's saying this? Who's
Is
saying
it wrong to have children without being married?
What is marriage?
A man and a woman get married.
You mean having a ceremony?
Uh-huh.
So is it okay
Under God. Is that wrong?
Do you get divorced under God or the devil? Do you get
Divorce is that of Satan, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But let me ask, is it wrong for men and women to get married and have children?
No, not at all.
Oh, but what do you mean then? What is marriage?
Because like I don't know if you've seen the other thing that I sent in, but like basically I believe that anytime a man and a woman have sex, you have a child, you guys are married. I don't know like That's my person.
Oh, that's wrong though.
How do you figure?
Because you can have sex with sluts. And you can be a slut maker.
But if you have a child with her, then that's your wife.
That's a bastard child.
A bastard child.
Yeah.
These are just terms you're just saying.
No,
but
when you're married, you're doing it under the umbrella of God. When you're not married, you're doing it under the umbrella of Satan, so you don't have a chance.
But in that case, Jesse, there would be no divorce. You can't, God, whatever God is putting together, no man can put asunder.
But most marriages are not put together by God.
But you said they were if you get married.
No, a lot of people get married, but not by God. They're brought together by Satan. And
you want to move your life.
The two differences. They sound the same.
They sound the same. But, and
the two inclusion, real fast, tell me the difference between inclusion and diversity. The two differences. They sound the same.
They sound the same. But, and again, it's so hard because, again, you see these words so often that oftentimes you, for I'm sure many people.
This is one of my favorite shows that he does. Look at the difference. Those are the same chairs. Look at the difference of the people, bro. They're literally the same chairs that they're sitting in.
They get tired of it because they see it a lot, and it's a big problem. But again, diversity looks at the numbers, okay? We have increased if an organization wanted to hire more Asian people, we've increased our organization by 20% with Asian workers. Okay, inclusion is about how to keep them.
How to keep them.
How to keep them.
Diversity means to bring them in.
Yes.
And then inclusion means to teach the white people how to keep them there.
It's not about teaching the white people how to keep them there. It's about creating the platforms within the organizations to help people stay. Because the problem is, again, a retention issue looks at, okay, there has been this certain culture within this organization for 100 years, okay? And this organization now wants to open its doors to more people from various backgrounds. What can we do now as a corporate culture to make our organization more inclusive? Their word, right? To make it more inclusive to where people are willing to stay and make our organization better. That's the point.
What would happen if a white company say, no, I don't want this mess up in here. I'll hire who I want. I will hire the best qualified.
Yep.
So I don't need you guys to come here and tell me how to run my company. Would you try to sue them or put them out of business? What would happen?
Well,
yeah, Jesse's looks like a love seat, and this dude looks like a like a little bitch ass stool, like a little tiny little thing.
Again, since the civil rights era, and organizations had to implement the whole human resource structure, they can't get away with that. It's not about suing, but they're gonna get so bashed in the media, that they have to conform to that.
When would black people be happy and say that's enough? When will we know that they're satisfied? Because they wanted affirmative action, we gave them that. Okay. They wanted to get into the white school, we let them get into that without earning.
And them putting them, let me see, Josiah is saying some stuff. He says, you can see this man has no integrity. Josiah, did you want to jump on and get in there? How's the Discord handle? What's the Discord handle? It's MedikationLIVE, bro. MedikationLIVE is the Discord. And there's a link on my YouTube, bro. Go to my YouTube and go to my link on my YouTube. I have a link to the Discord.
Want to move into the...
By the way, Jesse just said they let black people go to white schools. They did. And actually, when they did that, they hurt black people. There's actual studies that show they disproportionately hurt black people when they did that.
Ooh, we let them get into that without earning. They want to move into the white communities.
Okay.
We let them do that without earning it.
Mm-hmm.
And now they want reparations. They even wanted the white woman, so we gave up the white woman to them. Remember that?
Wait. Oh, no. So you're not calling yourself black, is what you're saying?
I am black, but I'm not into the black thing.
Okay, gotcha.
And so we gave them the white woman. When will it be enough?
Well, I think the thing is...
When would they say, okay, white folks, we had enough, we got what we need?
I can't give you a short answer to that. Again, it's complicated because it goes back to that concept of retention, right? Where you're saying that, okay, black people have gotten all this stuff. They've done this. Well, again, the research shows that you can put several black people into a space within the organization.
And they'll destroy it.
No, I'm not going to say that.
You got to agree that everything black people touch, they destroy it.
Oh, no, I can't.
Tell me
agree with that
one
all the
thing
way.
that they'll build. Majority of black people live, or majority of black people did, and you want to live there.
Atlanta is a great place. Why
No,
not live
it's
there?
not.
You don't think so?
And when the blacks moved, it used to be when I was growing up.
You've been there?
I've been there. I used to hang out there.
All right.
Because I grew up in Alabama, which is 2 hours away.
Sure.
And it was beautiful. The white man was in charge.
Okay.
Now Atlanta is crime-ridden, white people running. It's a mess. So Atlanta ain't yet. Can you name one other place?
But you know, there's crime-ridden
name
cities
one other
everywhere.
place where
I just
majority of blacks
named the
are
place.
running?
I just named the place off the top of my head.
Right, you just made that up, though.
No, it's
not
legit.
even true.
How is it not true?
It's a mess now.
But is that factual? Are you just going off of what
100%
you?
a mess.
But
They
where are
burning
the
down
where are the
Wendy
facts?
Burger and everything.
But where are the facts that show this?
I did on my show. I showed a map where they had laid out the crime.
I would love to see
area.
that.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll send it to you.
Please.
It's out of control.
Okay.
So I gotta ask, you believe in white supremacy?
No, I'm trying because the thing is, with this concept of white supremacy that's out there is very.
I don't even know what you said, bro. Magic Mike says Jesse is one of, in the chat, he says Jesse is one of the best, let's see here. Jesse is one of the best Socratic method orators of our time. Socratic method orators. What does that mean? Socratic method orator. Dialogue between teacher and students involves, okay, the teacher leads by posing thought-provoking questions. Students actively engage by asking questions of their own. The discussion goes back and forth.
Very complicated.
Learned something
I believe
today.
That in this country, white people are not all white people are bad. So let me get that straight.
Have you ever dated a white girl?
Oh, really? Are you sure about that, bro? White people aren't all bad?
I haven't.
Dang.
You want to?
No, I never thought about it.
You think about it now?
So let me get that. Not all white people are bad. So let me get that straight.
Have you ever dated a white girl?
No, I haven't.
You want to?
No, I never thought about it.
You think about it now?
Because I shouldn't think about the nappy-headed black woman. Is that what you're saying? But no, white supremacy exists.
Why do you believe that?
Because that's what the facts show.
But why is it that black people think white people are superior to them when white people clearly don't think that? Because it's the blacks who got the white people on run, making them think that racism exists. So why do blacks feel that white people are superior to them?
I don't know. I don't know of, at least in my circle, of any black people who feel that white people are superior to them. Me personally, I feel like my intelligence shouldn't be based off of white standards.
So
I just believe that,
That's
again.
you, yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's
you
me.
believe then that the black people who are calling white people white supremacists, they believe that white people are superior to them?
No. It's not about the concept of being superior. See, that's the problem.
But they say that, and white people don't feel that way.
Well, see, white supremacy, that, again, it's a loaded concept. Many people may say that that's the true angle of it, but when you're talking about white supremacy, it's this. It's to give you an example. You're talking about, okay, if there's a black guy who has a PhD and then there's a white guy who has his high school diploma, they walk into a room. I'm just giving an example.
Right.
Then what the research shows is that whoever that hiring manager is, that there is a higher likelihood that that white person will be perceived as the one who has the degree,
and you know
not
why,
the black
right?
person. Why is that?
Because black people always whining and begging and trying to take it. The white man earned his way.
No,
you and I
Sure.
would think that too.
White people earn their way all the way?
Because
Are
you
you
don't
sure
hear
about
them
that?
begging and blaming. And nobody want a beggar and a blamer to work for them.
Well, but you know, it's beggars and blamers
Yep.
on all sides of that.
But am
It's
I
not
right
just
about
black
that, though?
people, though? No, nobody wants a beggar.
Josiah in Instagram says, bro, get in the gym, own a company, take care of your family.
Beggar, blamer, you're right.
Tell black people to stop begging.
He says the victimhood will never end.
Okay.
So let me ask you this. You believe racism exists?
Yes.
And why do you believe that? What's your proof?
The facts are with all of the literature that is out there right now. I could pull up at least 10 to 20 research journals that show.
But just because
Marion Singer in the chat says, this guy is so full of crap. Everything is a concept or complicated.
if I wrote about it doesn't mean it's true.
Well, it doesn't mean it is not true either.
Random says, I bet he has hidden penis syndrome.
But it doesn't mean it's true.
Never heard of that.
That's just an opinion.
You a Christian, do you believe our battle is physical or spiritual?
No, of course it's spiritual. I believe.
If it's spiritual, how could it be racism?
I'll say this. I believe that if you're truly focused,
I believe that chair is under a lot of stress right now.
On God and who God is, and you want to move your life as such, I believe that ethnicity, racism, you should transcend that. You should. It should be a scenario to where no matter your skin color, you have equal opportunity to be the best that you can be.
Now God said we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against spirits and principalities.
Absolutely.
So why would you call that racism?
Well,
he needs to have more diversity in his diet. All he's eating are M&Ms, dude, and cheeseburgers. He needs to have a little DEI in his diet.
Racism is beyond the concepts of that. Racism is a concept that looks at, again, why certain ethnicities will demean.
Actually, I'm sorry. Burgers are probably good. Fries and shakes and shit. He's eating fries, shakes, and M&Ms. He needs to work on that shit. A little more diversity. Have a couple pieces of lettuce every once in a while, bro.
Or denounce other ethnicities just to stay in control. So that is something that is beyond biblical. Why that happens, I don't know. But
Timothy says, can you imagine inviting that dude for Thanksgiving? Oh, no.
Oh, man. One last question about that, and then I got to throw you on the hot.
Bucksnort says, that's a lot of load on those Tibet ankles.
I see.
Okay.
And then we're done.
Sure.
Shit, bro.
I noticed
those
that
tiny ankles. That's a lot, bro.
Black men today
act
and think like black women.
Yeah, why you say?
Diane in chat says, Ozempic would help like it did me.
Their complaints are the same as the black woman.
Okay.
They'll complain about another man is holding them back. And another man. A lot of these black thugs are being killed by cops because they're running and they have weapons and they have records. Like that unemployed drug addict George Floyd, right? We all know he was an unemployed drug addict. And when he was laying down on the ground, the cop had the feet on the back.
I'm telling you, Random, that's what I was, he's saying you got to cook a turducken. Yes, that's what I was saying too, Random, is those little bitch-ass little legs on his chair look like they're about to snap, bro. They're like on their last leg.
Okay. He was looking down at hell, calling for his mama. And we all know that these people are thugs. But in the good old days, black men used to say, this is not how you're supposed to raise your children.
Okay.
This is not an example for you. But now the black men sound just like the black.
I've never heard this before. Branfin Williamson in the chat says, can lead a horse to water, you can make them, but you can't make them drink. But you can drown the horse and walk away.
And they're defending bad behavior as though it's a good behavior. And the black men don't correct the women. Why do most black men think like women now? They're just like their mama.
I'm not going to say that they do that. I'm going to say.
But they do. Have you seen them not doing it?
I'm not going to say. I'm going to say this. Where is all of this coming from? Are you just observing this? No. What I'm saying is.
No buffet is safe.
Are you saying all black men? Where are you getting this information?
From their mothers.
So you're talking to their mothers, and their mothers are saying that they're acting like.
No, watching it happen all the time.
Well, see, again, that's opinion.
No, you see it all on the news and everywhere.
But again, the news likes to perpetuate a certain.
But they show the reality of what's going on there.
Look at that chair, bro. The chair's the legs are about to give way any second now.
And if that's the case, news.
They weren't built for this, dude. They're made to look cool, not actually hold up that kind of weight.
The media wouldn't have different slants.
How could the black men think like black women?
I'm not going to say that
it used to be the other way around.
I don't know about that. I'm not going to say that they do.
So Asians,
okay,
you know that Asians are being attacked by which race?
Well, from what I saw if we're talking about the media from the last thing, it was a white guy that shot up that masseuse parlor.
You saw one white guy doing it in a masseuse parlor, but majority of the Asians are being attacked by what race?
I have no idea. I don't. How am I going to know that if I haven't done the facts on it?
So how did you see this one white man that did it?
Because that's what they...
Exactly, Adrian in the chat. Dude, he makes it look like a little chair, like a little bitch-ass little chair. Like
the black man.
But that's what they showed. That's what they showed in the media.
Showed the black. Oh.
No. I'm talking about in that particular situation.
Right.
That's what
and
they
you
showed.
haven't seen any black people attacking Asians?
I have not seen it. I don't know the facts. I have to study that.
Look at the news. You'll see it. But what I want to ask you...
But that's the... But see, but here's the thing. Would you agree?
He's triple of Jesse.
There are different agendas by different news outlets.
Absolutely.
Well,
so I want to ask you, they're showing these photos or videos of black people doing it, and they're reporting on it at the same time. So we're all looking, but they're calling it white supremacists when it's really black people who are attacking the Asians. Why is that? I was like, that don't look like a white man to me. That look like a black one. But they're saying it's white supremacy when it's really black people.
I'm not, well, relative to that situation, if that's true, I wouldn't call that white supremacy. I would just say that was just something just happening that shouldn't be happening.
By black people.
If it's a black person, yeah, sure, they shouldn't be doing that.
There was an Asian woman, brave soul, on Tucker Carlson last.
That's funny. That's what World Debt just said, an Asian woman. And that's what Jesse Lee Peterson just said.
Okay.
And
I don't know where you get pants like that, guys. That's like, those are got to be custom made for sure.
She said that it's time.
Or they're stretching out hard right now. Look at that.
The black leadership, the black preachers, and everybody to call it what it is. It's not white people doing it. It's black people that are doing it. She said,
doing what?
Attacking the Asians.
Okay.
And she said, and so Tucker asked her, why do you think they won't say that?
It's a duvet,
and she
bro.
said, I don't know. It just seemed like the media and others are afraid to even say the word black.
Well, I just know this. If you're talking about the facts, again, okay, so let's say that that's true. Let's say that's happening. I'm gonna hold you to that. There's also been a lot of facts. If you're talking about racism and all of these things that are being attacked, that there are a lot of Asians who are racist against black people.
Yeah, Asians and black people don't like one another. The Asians don't like the blacks because of the crime rate in the black community. And this woman said that too, about the crime rate.
So it's her word
against...
Just her word against every other thing that's out there.
No, we all see it, but I see it, but she was brave enough to say it.
Okay.
You realize that?
I know, I hear what you're saying, for sure. I understand what you're saying.
Okay. Do you live in the inner city?
I don't think so. But see, this thing, I don't really. I'm still learning about LA.
Sudden, you know,
no.
You have 4 or 5 degrees, PhD, LSD, MSD.
No.
You don't know the inner city.
No, I'm not saying that. What I was gonna say is, I live in El Monte.
I rest my case.
I don't know what that's called.
All white.
No, it's not.
There's a few Asian, a lot of Asians.
No, El Monte is predominantly, I think, Latinx.
More Mexicans now too, because when they come across the border, since they come up north, they stop over there too.
The thing is, I honestly moved to where my pockets would allow me to, and that was the area.
Oh, your pocket wouldn't allow you to go in the inner city. If radical homosexuals were not imposing themselves upon society,
radical homosexuals, what is that?
Upon Christians, would Christians be fighting back in such a big way? It's not like the Christians are looking for them. The radical homosexuals are going after the Christians and trying to change the church, and bring their secular ideas into the church, into families. And so you have Christians
by asking Christians to do what Jesus asked of them, which was to love thy brethren, regardless to
hold on.
What their
yeah, continue. And so, if radical homosexuals were not imposing on Christians, would there be this big battle going on? Lauren, first and then you.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fair to say that, hey, what if some of this is self-defense? We feel like we're being attacked, and so we need to. And yeah, I'm not against Christian activism in any way, but I think it's important that we don't let ourselves become wrapped up in like political debates as Christians to the point where we overlook the larger, broader message of the gospel.
So you agree then that
let's see what he said here again. What was he saying? Hold on.
And Christians
radical homosexuals. What is that?
Upon Christians would Christians be fighting back in such a big way? It's not like the Christians are looking for them. The radical homosexuals are going after the Christians and trying to change the church and, you know, bring their secular ideas into the church, into families. And so you have Christians
by asking Christians to do what Jesus asked of them, which was to.
Josiah says, the link expired. I tried to join. Can I join your live? What's the link? Here, bro. I'll give you the link one more time. You guys can join. I'll take a caller.
Love thy brethren, regardless to.
That's an interesting
regardless to.
Hold on.
What their.
Yeah,
continue.
And so if radical homosexuals were not imposing on Christians, would there be this big battle going on? Lauren, first than you.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fair to say that, hey, what if some of this is self-defense? We feel like we're being attacked, and so we need to. And yeah, I'm not against Christian activism in any way, but I think it's important that we don't let ourselves become wrapped up in like political debates as Christians to the point where we overlook the larger, broader message of the gospel.
So you agree then?
Buck in chat says, man, I love this chat. Thanks, Medi, for being there. Hell yeah, bro. Thank you guys. You guys are what make this thing.
That the radical homosexuals are imposing on families, Christian families. They want to change the order of the family.
By asking them to be accepting of their gay sons and daughters.
Like that. So you don't see gluttony.
What an encroachment upon your life.
Well, let's be more specific here. Like, what policies specifically are you talking about? Because any regulations where they would be able to like go into a Christian school and say you must do that, I oppose that. I am very strongly for freedom of religion, and if freedom of religion is being attacked, of course, as Christians, we should speak out about it. I think in some ways it is, but like again, that can't get in the way of our larger, our larger mission of proselytizing.
So should I feel attacked if I'm going to the subway and there's Christians espousing their gospel on megaphones? Like, should I feel attacked by their actions?
No.
So just simply speaking up, exactly. So, but on the flip, you're going to say that radical homosexuals are attacking straight people.
They are.
Because we're speaking up for ourselves.
No, you're trying to impose it. You're not.
It's not imposing.
For example, homosexual
there's a difference between stepping up and saying, "Hey, I'm a homosexual and I'm worthy of love."
But no one cares.
Obviously you do, because we're still having this conversation.
But if you didn't impose it on the Christians, they would go about their lives.
That's absolutely not true.
Homosexual
That's absolutely not true, because
you impose that up on the courts. You try to force Christians to accept that, rather
just
than
in the same way that black people force themselves upon white people because they spoke up about having rights in this country.
So what? Repeat that.
What I said was, so is that the same as stating that black people were imposing upon white people
when we set
up for our rights?
What does that have? That's not the same conversation.
It is actually the exact same conversation.
Homosexuality is not about civil rights. It's not about love. It's not about family. It's about sex.
Define civil rights. It's not about sex. That's where you're mistaken.
No,
you can never speak on it because you're not a homosexual man.
It's about sex.
You can never speak on it because you're not a homosexual man.
And this is my.
Can you accept that?
Hold on. The thing that made a lesbian is that a female has sex with another lesbian female.
Sexual preferences are
Hold on, bro. Let me go back, bro. Hold on.
Upon white people.
Hang on, bro. What is going on here, bro? Hold on.
What I said was, so is that the same as stating that black people were imposing upon white people
when we set
up for our rights?
What does that have? That's not the same conversation.
It is actually the exact same conversation.
Homosexuality is not about civil rights. It's not about love. It's not about family. It's about sex.
Define civil rights. It's not about sex. That's where you're mistaken.
No,
you can never speak on it because you're not a homosexual man.
It's about sex.
You can never speak on it because you're not a homosexual man.
And this is my.
Can you accept that?
Hold on. The thing that made a lesbian is that a female has sex with another lesbian female.
Sexual preferences are about sexual preference, but if I can interject my small government viewpoint in this, the reason why I understand the whole gay marriage debate is that I don't believe, again, the government should be involved in marriage at all. But because it is, there are a lot of
because you're not a homosexual man.
And this is my.
Can you accept that?
Hold on.
Define civil rights. Define civil rights. It's not about sex. That's where you're mistaken.
No.
A lesbian.
You can never speak on it because you're not a homosexual man.
It's about sex.
You can never speak on
lesbian.
Because you're not a homosexual man.
And this is.
That's gotta go on the soundboard, bro. I agree. World debt in the chat.
Can you accept that? Hold on. The thing that made a lesbian is that a female has sex with another lesbian female.
Sexual preferences
Look at his hand. Look at his hand. You know he's doing this on purpose, bro. Look at him, please. God, look. Let me zoom in.
It's about sex.
You can never speak on it because you're not a homosexual man.
And this is
Can you accept that?
Hold on.
Look at his hands, please. And look at his face.
A lesbian is.
You accept that?
Hold on.
Look,
the thing that made a lesbian is that.
It's like he's singing like an opera. A lesbian. A lesbian. Fucking Jesse, bro. Look at this guy. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
And this is my.
Can you accept that?
Hold on.
Look.
The thing that made a lesbian is that a female has sex with another lesbian female.
Sexual preferences are about sexual preference, but if I can interject my small government viewpoint in this, the reason why I understand the whole game.
Like Pavarotti, bro. He's literally like a lesbian. Lesbian. Fucking Jesse, bro. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
A lesbian.
You accept that?
Hold on. The thing that made a lesbian is that a female has sex with another lesbian female.
Sexual preferences are about sexual preference, but if I can interject my small government viewpoint in this, the reason why I understand the whole gay marriage debate is that I don't believe, again, the government should be involved in marriage at all. But because it is, there are a lot of other things that relate to the marriage contract, as it were, that come outside of like. Love is love, whatever. Like marriage contracts are about government recognition of a relationship, and that can affect your inheritance. That can affect hospital times that you're allowed to visit each other. That can affect. Yes, it can affect.
You can write a contract to say, when I die, I want Lou Ella to get all my stuff.
Yeah, if you're someone who actually has a will, if you actually have.
Juan says, Juan in the chat. Let me pull this up, bro. Juan in the chat says. Says youngins trying to fight for a cause they don't know what they doing, bro. They were trying to fight for, I mean, you name it, bro. They went from, who was it, George Floyd to, I don't know, this, that. Finally they ended up in Free Palestine. Trump went and took care of that, so now they moved up from Free Palestine. Now they're onto socialism and communism. They don't know what they're doing anymore, bro.
Will, but it's not automatic, right? That's why marriage exists from the government,
when
right?
I'm in the hospital, I need
Same with like
care.
healthcare. If you want to bring someone on your healthcare,
they don't need a law for that. They can write a contract.
And can you give me your definition of a civil right?
I want to go quickly back to this this question. Do you agree with me that what makes a man or a woman a lesbian or homosexual is that they have sex with the same sex?
Sexual preferences are about sexual preferences. Right. Yeah, I think we would all agree on that.
And it's not about love, it's not about family, and it's not about civil rights. Do you agree with that?
Well, I mean, no, because the Greeks actually have several different types of love, one of them being specific to like romantic love, eros, and that is something that would so the gay relationships are based around that type of... They teach this in
liberal schools.
And where are the Greeks now?
The Greeks?
Who did you say?
The Greeks in general, just the different types of love.
Where are they now?
They're
still because they embraced homosexuality, their civilization went to hell. Yeah.
I rest my case.
Yeah.
I rest my case.
So guess what? So then America's on decline to going straight to hell then, right?
So what?
Based on your
I got a couple. I need the lesbian. I need to put that on my soundboard, my sound mixer. I also gotta get the one where it's like, I rest my case.
So then America is on its way straight to hell then?
No, but I'm trying to explain why the whole gay marriage debate, if government is going to be in marriage.
What's his name says in the chat, he said, Medi, you should put, you should put Andrew Wilson against feminist, and I'll put that on here.
You can't turn on the TV without seeing one.
Lauren. Repeat that.
I'm saying, well, that based on what you're saying, then America is basically going straight to hell because
fostering of merely just to say you are not deserving of a love, right? So that, if that's about what it is, then I'd be fine. I believe that parents should take it upon themselves to teach their children that for anybody. That way, regardless of the race, religion, whatever, we don't have people who are just totally awful to, you know, their fellow man. That's important. But when it comes to specifically what we teach in school, I think that there are political ideologies that are taking over to the point that it goes beyond like what is just acceptance and love. And I worry that we are introducing certain concepts to kids when they're too young to understand. Like the issue of transgenderism, for example. Gender dysphoria is a medically recognized
Let's see what he's talking about here with this one. I think,
let's think of the logic here. Women are who are going to birth the future generations to keep your nation going stronger, correct?
Yeah.
So if you send a bunch of your women out to war to die, you are going to severely impact your population numbers in your nation, because if you could have fewer men essentially and more women, and you can still balance your population.
Let me come in really quick. Well, okay. Big hole in this line of argumentation.
Okay, so that's one argument. The other argument is that because women are physically not as strong, because women menstruate, because women carry pregnancies, I think that those are reasons why I don't think that it would be beneficial to have them in military service. I think it's
But what about liberals that say men can give birth?
probably going to be more of a burden on the military than it would actually
And I guess these days men can breastfeed.
be a
Well,
help.
to argument one, you would still create a gaps argument with this as well. Even if you sent men off, you would end up with less men, which means that unless you suddenly become a Christian polygamist, you're still going to have less men than are required to impregnate the women. And I'm guessing you want one woman per one man. So even sending men off to die, you're still going to have this problem, right?
Well, technically not.
Technically not what?
Well, like if you were to think of, I'm not necessarily advocating for this, but if you had a situation where you had a severely declined population in a nation and you had to increase the numbers, you could increase the numbers via like in vitro fertilization. You could do other types of, and there were people who used to do polygamy.
Wouldn't
God not vibe with
highly,
that?
Well, first,
right.
In
Well,
vitro
I
fertilization.
do believe in vitro fertilization.
In vitro fertilization is highly expensive. If you look at Israel has a massive IVF program. It costs their state millions upon millions upon millions, mostly our dollars yearly, and it's not very effective. It's
But the other reason,
hang on, I'm almost done. It's only raised it slightly. You still would end up with this gaps argument. If you're a Christian, you believe one man for one woman, you would still be decreasing the population of men, which means that unless you switch over to polygamy, you have this. The argument actually turns on you. If women out there were dying at the same ratio that men were, right? And then you would have exactly the amount of men and women that you would need to repopulate, right?
But then, well, not necessarily. I mean, you could technically.
Well, I don't know. I know math.
You could do.
I'm mathing it in my brain right now.
If you had a dying population on an island, okay, and you had 10 women and 10 men, if you were to try to send your people off to go, fight a group of people, you would be smart to preserve as many women as you could, because you'd be able to create,
yes,
duplicate your numbers. As long as you had a couple men, you could duplicate the population.
Yes, but then you would be endorsing polygamy, right?
Right, and there were times when people.
Yeah,
did
but that's not
polygamy.
within the Christian ethic, is it? Polygamy.
Well, some Christians, I guess. Did,
oh, so are they the same ones that have female pastors?
Well, no, it's actually
those Christians.
No, it's actually. That's actually a fact, though, that there were Christian groups that resorted to polygamy to boost their numbers.
Yes,
but anyway,
and it's immoral, though, from the Christian ethic, right?
And
do agree with that, right?
We're talking about, we're putting on our logical, nation hat right now as far as what a nation should do for a military. I'm not talking about it.
Okay, we got that point. We got it. We understand that, but we have another
like
one here.
real men
This
like my
is
dad
the
who have
one.
the same political beliefs but don't talk to women the way you do.
Yeah, whatever that means. But anyway, so
He's
a
watching
real man does X, right? Wouldn't you say that?
Oh yeah, like real men like my dad who have the same political beliefs but don't talk to women the way you do.
Yeah, whatever that means. But anyway, so a real man does X, right? Wouldn't you say that the social stigma around the fact that women can kind of get away with the same type of inappropriate touching without men reporting would greatly skew these numbers?
Yes, however, I think that women and men who are victims and are perpetrators as well, I think those are both underreported. I think across the board it's underreported, but more for male victims with female perpetrators.
Well, how many more
So
for male victims?
I don't know.
But it could be. It could be drastic, right?
And I would hope not.
And if it is drastic, then it would skew your numbers on all of those percentages across the board.
Oh, absolutely,
wouldn't
it would. But the problem is we have no way of gathering that data. And with the data we do have, though, I see what you're saying about the stigma, but it is so vastly that women are victims and men are the perpetrators that I don't see that catching up in any percentage.
Why not? It depends on how underreported it is. In fact,
That's
a lot of
close.
these data sets draw from unreal.
Magic Mike says Psycho is a lib that gets all their talking points from MSNBC and Hassan Piker. Sounds pretty legit to me.
Reported incidences via estimates, don't they?
Unreported incidences via estimates.
Yes. So
I suppose, yeah. There's no way that they can actually.
CR says we need more misogyny. Nowadays, men are way too soft. It's leading us down a path to destruction. Well, you know what they say, right? About hard times and
gather that
the
data.
rest. Hard times, easy times.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this would be the exact same thing, right? They're making a supposition based on an estimate. This would equally have to apply to men. But if the social stigma is there by your own admission that men are basically not reporting the instances of unwanted touching from women due to this social stigma, we don't actually know how bad that social stigma really is, do we?
No, and I mean, that's also what feminists, that's a great point, and I agree with you, because feminists, that is one of, it's also my 60 seconds, right?
Well, we're having a back and forth now, so.
Oh, okay. Well, can I have 60 seconds? Because I would just like to talk a little bit about like stigma.
We can't get into a back and forth and then like arbitrarily demand whole blocks.
Okay, well, I'm just going to give some statistics because I think we're on the same page here. I think we've actually found common ground. So the stigma around SA and abuse is what allows these numbers to be underreported. And so I think that because that's what feminists want, is we want men to be comfortable coming forward as well, because we want safety and equality for the sexes. That is what the definition of the term is the belief in social, economic, and political equality of the sexes.
Let me refute these lies, because
well, I think that some people don't believe that.
all national campaigns that I've seen hyper focus on women and the abuse of women, already making the supposition that men are the monsters and the criminals who are doing the unwanted touching and the essaying. And because of that, because this is done at a national level, at a state level, at a local level, and the
no hair dye, bro. Enjoy it. This is wonderful natural hair.
Organizations and NGOs are all hyper focusing on women, this stigma towards men is never addressed.
Enjoy it.
Because women are only looking at it through the prism of women.
It's not just women who are working on these studies, right? And who are writing these articles.
It doesn't
it's also
matter.
men.
Don't you say men can be feminists?
Yeah.
Okay, so by your criteria, these men who have the same exact worldview as you, they're still hyper focusing on feminism. And the idea always starts with the supposition that men are the more violent sex, that they are more often doing these types of SA, sexual assaults, things like this. And what do we end up with? We end up with very skewed numbers based on the criteria, right? Where within just...
Are you saying it's more female perpetrators?
That person, so you can suppose that into the data that you have right now for how many there's always been.
Right.
Why couldn't I do the...
I got a few grays coming in though, guys. Look, can you see them in here? There's a couple of grays coming in. I think they actually look good.
The exact same thing with SA numbers.
No, you can, but how are you going to get the how are you going to get the figure that it is more? Are you saying it's more female perpetrators than male perpetrators?
If I look
how can you possibly get that
because
number?
If I look at the raw data and we look at stigmas, right?
No, my beard for sure. My beard for sure is distinguished. It's got the silvers. I got the silver fox going in my beard, but my hair I haven't touched yet, and it's holding strong. Look at that. I mean, on the sides, though, look. Right here on the sides a little bit. But other than that, it's holding strong.
We agree on stigma, but the data, how do you have...
Because the data is not taking into account the stigma towards male reporting.
But it is, but I'm saying there are no reported cases.
Yeah, you can't.
It's not. You're right.
How do you report the cases if the stigma is there for them to not report?
So yes, given that, how do we come up with any? Because these other places, they come up with estimates, these studies that you just cited. So how do we come up with an estimate for female perpetrators?
Whether we come up with the estimate or not, we have...
Why don't we look at what James was saying?
That if the big beautiful bill passes, I will lose everything.
Oh my God, that's terrible. You're going to lose your house and your family and your job.
I will lose the bottom surgery that I have been on a wait list for 2 years. I will lose my testosterone, all gender-affirming care.
Oh, so you're mad that the government isn't going to take our tax dollars to pay for your surgery?
And y'all are okay with that?
Yeah, I don't want to pay for that. I don't think anybody wants to pay for that.
You think that trans people shouldn't exist?
No, I have no problem with you guys existing at all whatsoever. What I don't believe is that we should have to pay for your shit.
I thought you cared about kids, because, they're about to die.
There it is. There's the manipulation. Pay for my penis surgery or kids are gonna die. Yeah, that shit ain't gonna work on me, homie. But what do y'all think? Let me know down in the comments.
Pay for my penis surgery or kids are gonna die. Oh my God.
I'm literally not asking for help. I'm literally not asking for a job. I just want my benefits back. I don't feel the need to pay for food.
See, it's these types of people, the ones who are abusing the system, that make people less empathetic to the people who genuinely need a hand up instead of a hand out. There's been times in my life where I would not have been able to eat if it wasn't for EBT. Used it temporarily because I didn't have any other choice and I really needed the help. And now I pay a shitload of money in taxes and I absolutely don't mind if there's people out there who need that same leg up. Even when I needed EBT, I was working a job. I was doing the best that I could. I was a teenage parent, bro. The shit was rough. If you're abusing the system and you feel entitled to be able to do so, that's where it becomes a problem. But what do y'all think? Let me know in the comments.
I didn't know that. He was a teenage parent? Whoa. Didn't know that. Oh. Holy cow, guys.
We have good reason to doubt the various estimates by RAINN and these other sexual advocacy organizations, especially when I look at the NIS. Because when I look at the NIS, I get totally different numbers, and it's way more comprehensive. It's the largest, most comprehensive data set on planet Earth is the NIS, and that's what it shows. It shows that women are far more likely to abuse their children than men. When women are in positions of dominant power and authority over weaker people than themselves, they're more likely to abuse almost every time. This is also included in healthcare stats. When they are in charge of people who are weaker than them in healthcare situations, they abuse far more than men do.
You keep talking about the NIS, like which specific, like are you talking about the national, because the specific study that you're talking about.
Amazing.
Amazing.
And ring the bell. You can ring my bell. Ring the bell. Pastor of the Renewed Church of Los Angeles. Am I right?
That is
Renewed Church of Los Angeles. Thank you for coming.
Well, thank you.
He's
for
a pastor.
I absolutely appreciate it.
Thank you.
And so, were you called to be a pastor, or did you go to school for it?
Well, at the age of 9, I felt the presence of God over me. I grew up in a Pentecostal church, so I went through that entire Pentecostal experience. And it wasn't until I matriculated through college that I decided to get a bachelor's degree in theology, or to study theology while I was at Stillman College.
Oh, I see. So God didn't call you. You decided to go to school for it.
No. I believe that I was called by God to do what I do.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
And why do you believe that?
Why do I believe that I was called? I know that I'm called to do what I do because because I have a passion and I have a desire to see people elevated from where they are to where they need to be.
Oh, okay. And when you say where they are, do you believe that human beings are in a fallen state?
Explain what you mean by that.
You're a pastor, you should know.
Yeah, but explain what do you mean by a fallen state?
Do you know? Do you believe that human beings are in a fallen state? You know what fallen means, right?
A fallen state means that they've fallen from the grace of God. Is that what you're? Okay.
Right.
So I believe that that humans have fallen from a fallen state, but with the whole deal with reconciliation, I think that God reconciles us back to himself.
So you do agree then that human beings have fallen away from God, right?
That humans have fallen away from God according to Adam and all that, yes.
And then at some point, those who seek him will come back.
Those who seek him, are that he's called back to them, yes, then they will.
Is it possible to overcome?
Magic says, Medi, is there a specific time you go live? Not really. I typically go live. I'm in Southern California. I'm in Orange County. So PST time, I'm typically go live. I typically go live Monday through Friday in the mornings and in the evenings. So I'll go live in the morning around 9 or 10 during the week. Pacific time, California time, and then I go in the evening, sometime around between 6 and 7 and 8 p.m. Again, California time. BB Drifter says I'm in the Bay Area. What's up, man? Big ups to the Bay Area. Yeah. So and then Sundays I do two. I do one in the morning and one in the evening, afternoon.
Become that fallen state.
It is possible to overcome that fallen state if we accept.
But I don't lock myself into a schedule because I operate three other businesses. Three businesses, and I have a personal life and all that. So I don't lock myself into it. It just depends on kind of how I'm feeling and how things are going, and then I'll either come on in the morning or at night, I'll come on morning and night. Sometimes I may not come on, but if you want to be more in tune, feel free to jump on my Discord. State Line has a link. We have links. My YouTube channel page has a link to my Discord. We talk on there offline. And we also have, if you want to share links or things that you want me to share on the stream, you can do that there.
If we accept Christ back into our hearts.
Right. How does one know when they're in a fallen state?
Well, a person will know that they're in a fallen state when they don't.
Good point, James. If you do subscribe, feel free to hit the bell so you get notification when I go live, and it'll just boom, it'll pop up for you, and you'll know when I'm live every time.
Live a life that's successful.
But we have a great community. We have our chat is the best thing about the live. It's so fun.
I believe that's really acceptable to themselves. So like a person that is a drug addict or a person that is drinks too much liquor, a person that maybe possibly not living their best life or doing what they're called to do. I think that those people are the people that find themselves in a fallen state.
So when they're not living their life according to God, and they're in a fallen state?
If you're not living a life that is according to the principles of God, yes.
Then you're in a fallen state?
Then you're in a fallen state.
So if I read, and I don't know if it's true or not, I like to ask the person before I mention,
Okay.
know if it's true or not. Are you a homosexual?
I am a same gender loving man.
So does that mean you're a homosexual?
It means that I'm a same gender loving man.
But just from...
thank you, man. Appreciate you subscribing, BB Drifter.
Black and slow.
Good to have you, bro.
And just for the record, does that mean you're a homosexual?
I could be considered a homosexual.
Are you considered? I don't want to think of you if you're not.
I'm a homosexual.
You're a homosexual?
Yes.
And so you're a homosexual pastor?
I am a homosexual pastor, yes.
That's amazing.
That's amazing. How have you been
Danielle says, hey, Medi and State Line and Chad just popped in to say hello. This community is amazing.
That's amazing.
Satan is your daddy, woman.
Satan is your daddy, woman.
Not you, Danielle. I was just having fun with it.
That's amazing.
Good to have you, Danielle.
A homosexual pastor.
What's up, James
I've been
Henry?
a pastor for 8 years, senior pastor, and then before that, prior to that, I was a youth pastor.
Oh, okay. Why do you think that God would call a person, a homosexual, to be a pastor but not change him?
So I don't think that
question.
God majors where we minor. And so I think that what happens is I think that we put limitations on God that God doesn't have. For example, we could, if you go to seminary or something like that, you find out that there's a thought process that God could possibly be a woman, or that God could be this, or that God could be that God can be whatever it is that you need him to be.
Here we go. Now he's going to say God is a homosexual. Watch. I mean, that's what he's trying to say, right?
Put limitations on God that God doesn't have. For example, we could, if you go to seminary or something like that, you find out that there's a thought process that God could possibly be a woman, or that God could be this, or that God could be that. That God can be whatever it is that you need him to be.
You believe that he can be a woman?
I believe that God can be whatever it is that you need him to be.
So can he be a homosexual too if you needed him to be one?
Well, honestly, I don't think that God, the Bible says that God is neither male nor female.
Right. So how can he be a woman then if he's not a female?
Well, I'm saying that. So there's a book that's by who's the book by? There's a book that is written. It's called what is it called?
Well, that's all right.
Buck Snort, welcome, bro. We'd love to have you, man. We're glad to have you.
Sorry about the title. What about the book?
But in the book, the principles of the book talk about God swaying himself to this pit, and it's called The Shack by W.M. Paul Young. And so if you read that book, then you find out,
guys,
that
spoiler alert, he walks this guy off the stage. He talks him, he says some shit to him and makes him walk off the stage. Should we cut to that? Should we cut to the walk off? Let's cut to it. Let's go to it. Let's fast forward a little bit. Here we go.
It was my innate nature to be to like men.
And so how did your nature go from a natural nature of being a man or male to an unnatural nature of becoming a woman? How did that happen?
You said the unnatural nature of me becoming a woman?
Yeah, how, you were born a natural male, right?
You're born a natural male.
Right, you were, right?
I am a male currently sitting here in front of you.
But how did you go from being a natural male to an unnatural woman?
Who's an unnatural woman?
But isn't homosexuality is like being a female feeling?
Oh,
no. What is
hold
it?
on. Hold on.
But how did you go from being a natural male to an unnatural woman?
Who's an unnatural woman?
Beta. But isn't homosexuality?
I am a male currently sitting here.
So
in
you're
front of
gay?
you.
So you're gay? I didn't know you were gay. How did you become gay? That's amazing. But how did you go from being
hold on.
You're born a natural male.
Right, you were, right?
I am a male currently sitting here in front of you.
But how did you go?
It's the same chair, guys, as the other guy was in. It's the same chair. Look how small the chair, how big the chair looks now. Yeah, but hold on.
So you're gay? How did you become gay? How did you become gay?
Hold on, here we go. Hold on.
I didn't know you were gay. How did you become gay? That's amazing.
Hold on.
Go from being a natural male.
How did you go from being a natural male? Hold on.
He's sitting here in front of you.
But how did you go from being a natural male to an unnatural woman?
Who's an unnatural woman?
But isn't homosexuality is like being a female feeling?
No.
What is it?
No.
What is it exactly?
Being gay is, or being gay, being a homosexual, whatever term like that a person wants to use to identify themselves. It's an innate state of being. It means that this is who that person is. If I'm not a woman, I'm a man sitting here in front of you having a conversation. I have a penis, just like you have.
Well,
a
you
penis.
do have the male parts, but now they're cutting that off too.
Jesse is saying, I'll be the judge of that.
Did you hear about that? We'll get to that. But do you feel? But now they're cutting that off too. Did you hear about that?
In front of you having this. If I'm not a woman, I'm a man sitting here in front of you having a conversation. I have a penis, just like you have.
Well,
a
you
penis.
do have the male parts, but now they're cutting that off too. Did you hear about that? We'll get to that. But do you feel inwardly? Do you feel like a male or you feel like a female?
Chair, bro.
I am a male sitting here in front of you.
No, but what do you feel
I
like?
I feel
on
like
inside?
a male. And
Inside?
I am a male sitting here in front of you.
I realize that, but inside, do you feel like a man or you feel like a woman?
I am a male sitting here in front of you. So that answers your question, right?
I know.
I
but
don't
Hold
feel
on,
like
I gotta hear
anything
this again.
I know you
Hold
feel
on.
like a inside, do you feel
male sitting here in front of
I
you.
realize that, but inside do you too. Did you hear about that? We'll get to that.
Hold
but
on,
do
let's-
you feel inwardly? Do you feel like a male or you feel like a female?
I am a male sitting here in front of you.
No, but what do you feel
I
like?
feel
on
like
inside?
a male. And
Inside?
I am a male sitting here in front
I
of you.
realize that, but inside, do you feel like a man or you feel like a woman?
I am a male sitting here in front of you. So that answers your question, right?
I know.
I don't feel like anything because I am a male.
You don't feel like neither male nor woman?
I am a male sitting here in front of you.
I realize that, but what made you think you're a homosexual then? If there's not a
What makes
feeling on
me-
this side, why do you think you're
homosexuality is not a feeling; it's a state of being. It's who the person innately is. It has nothing to do with. It has nothing to do with.
Here's where he walks him off.
Creating a feeling.
Here he goes.
That you're talking about. It's an innate. It's
You
it's
running?
an innate nature of
Don't
who
run.
that person is. I innately
He's
am
about to
who
run.
I am. Me being gay or homosexual has nothing.
Damn, I want this to keep going, but he's gonna get up and walk away. He's gonna shrivel up and die and walk away. Watch.
Nothing to do for me with being a man. It has everything to do with my preference and who I choose to sleep with.
What does the word innately mean? What does that mean? I'm black and slow. I don't know what that means.
The word innate.
Uh-huh.
The word innate means that it is that I'm not changing or I'm not becoming something else. I am who I am.
Just before we started the show, you said that you introduced your. Is he your husband or your wife? Is that your husband? He gonna be your husband or your wife?
I'm gonna end this interview.
Why?
Because we're ending this right now.
Why you want to end?
We're ending it.
Well,
Take
wait,
this
come
off.
back.
Take this off.
What?
You want to have a real conversation?
I'm
Call
having-
me.
I'm-
No, you're bullshitting me.
Come
and
back.
I'm not gonna be a
You're
part of that. Come
bullshitting
take
me.
this off of me, or I'm gonna take it with me.
But why are you running?
Come take this off of me, or I'm gonna take it with me. Please take it off of me.
Really,
Because
come take it
you're
off.
disrespecting me.
But no, I'm
So-
asking you really.
Please take it off.
Am
or
I
I'm gonna
asking
take
him
it
a real
with
serious
me.
question?
No, I'm saying, just let them take, they're recording you, they're trying to get a reaction.
It's okay.
No, be quiet.
No, that's not what
Okay,
we're doing.
so.
Just take it off.
Yeah.
But tell me why
is
you're
it
running.
down?
I'm not running, sir, but when you want to have a real conversation, you have my information. You can
But you
call
said
me.
that you were gonna.
When you want to have a real conversation,
You said
when
that
you
you gonna
want to have
marry
a
this-
real conversation,
You said you gonna
can call
marry
me.
this guy.
When you want to have, he's a guy. You're calling him a female. You're being disrespectful.
I asked if you gonna call him husband or wife. Come back.
What
Do you want to
the-
be interviewed?
What the?
Amazing. Well, they gone. That's amazing. They gone. They walked away. So the deal is that was in your book. You see,
men are
end of love. Wait, I just love. The end of love. Wait, I just went down. I want to quote it right. Oh, your book, The End of Love, Racism, Sexism, and the Death of Romance.
Yes.
You argue that it is harder for a black woman to find a long-term relationship. And why do you think that is? Because it is. Why do you think that is?
The problem is that so many men are expecting a woman who is slim, white, and pliant. So they want a woman who is fair-skinned with straight hair and a slender physique and is going to do what they say. Now, as you might imagine, after the many feminist movements that we have had in this world, and especially in the West, women aren't mostly up to that. We, for those of us who are looking for a man, want someone who's going to be a partner, someone who's going to be a companion and equal. But unfortunately, that's not the view that many men have.
So that's what you mean by the end of love?
Well, partially what I'm talking about in the book is the reality that romantic relationships, people used to call them love, but love and romance are not the same. But romantic relationships that people used to expect would happen to everyone if you were just attractive enough as a woman, if you had enough money as a man, well, then, you know, you get your taco as a woman and a man's wallet and they're compatible and you're going to be together forever. More people are either not finding romantic partnerships when they want them or getting into them, such as I have done, and then realizing, oh, I don't want that. No, let me get out of that. So at the current time, according to a couple of different studies that I've seen, 52% of adult women are single. That makes us the majority. Some of us are choosing singlehood, like myself, but others, they want to have a man, but they don't want to follow the old traditional rules to get one.
But if they don't, they're never going to get a man.
There it is. You either are a trad wife or you're not a wife for a lot of men. Not every single one.
So, but the real reason that black women don't have long-term relationship unless they get with a white man, and because black women, especially the educated ones, they're like nasty. You know, they think they're equal to the man. If they have an education, they think they're smarter than the man. They think they don't need a man. They have nasty attitude. You know, just.
Okay, I agree with 2 of those 4 things. You said we think we're equal to men.
Yeah.
And that
and also, they don't want, I noticed that educated women of all races, but especially black women, they don't make for good wives and mother to men children.
So now this
that's
is
why
the
I tell
issue.
men they shouldn't marry an educated woman because she would never make for a good wife and a good mother to his children.
Now, that doesn't make any sense. Now, first of all, it's quite clear that I'm not nasty. And I'm pretty well educated. But
I bet you're
feel
different
like,
when the men are dealing with you.
well, I'm dealing with a man right now.
I know, but you are nice now, but if we were dating or married, you'd be held to pay.
You would be hell to pay. I love it, dude. Fucking Jesse's on this, dude.
Different when the men are dealing with you.
Well, I'm dealing with a man right now.
I know, but you are nice now, but if we were dating or married, you'd be held to pay.
We're dealing in counterfactuals. Okay, let's focus on the things that are really going on.
Okay.
So, no, in reality, a lot of women are single because men are looking for simplicity. And they're especially looking for women who are considered attractive enough in a white visual economy. I call these women sufficiently white. Oh, what's their body size like? Oh, okay, what's the hair like? Oh, how much money do they have? Don't get it twisted. There are plenty of men, and I've encountered multiple men like this, who are looking for successful women so they can
Exactly, BB Drifter. She laughed herself because she liked it.
take it easy. Right. So we're
She knew she's hell to pay. She laughed. She's like, yeah.
dealing with a number of confusing problems,
She thinks it's a good quality that she has.
not the least of which is that women do have high standards. And women who want male partners want to find an equal. But unfortunately, a lot of men are looking for a woman who is subordinate.
But it's normal for a man to look for a wife that will obey him, that would not be trying to go to work, but would stay home and raise his children, watch over his children, keep the house clean, and stay barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen.
That's a trad wife.
That's why.
I think you're right. It is normal, and in the sense that it's historically been typical.
And that's
but it's not
that
helpful. Worked for who? It worked for the men.
It worked for the men and the women in the good old days, but now it's not working for either the man.
What's wrong with it for the women right now? Women, I talk to women all the time. I go do street interviews and they say, I want a man that will take care of me, that will be a provider, a protector, a leader for the family. I want to stay at home and raise my kids.
Other women.
There it is.
Because the men.
Women tell me all the time, I don't want to go to work. I want to stay home and raise my own kids. If my man can provide and protect, that's the ideal situation.
Man can't find a woman that is a common sense woman anymore.
Dude, our subscribers are at 7,444. Let's go, baby.
Well, I think instead of having common sense, women want to have dignity and respect.
But
hence feminism.
That's a mess, though.
No, feminism has given us a sense of who we are and what we can achieve in the world.
The women now, feminism has caused women to be old and lonely and lost.
That is very true.
I don't think feminism is causing women to age specifically.
Meaning that they're getting old with no husband, no children, and they regret it that I had a little career. And so once that ego fulfillment is not working, they realize I should have gotten married, I should have had children, but it's too late because a man don't want an old woman.
That's not about love at all. Well, you know, it's interesting because I think
and you know about love?
A growing number of women are realizing that we can either be trad wives, as you've articulated, or we could be single and happy and partying it up with our friends.
Did you hear what she just said? We could be trad wives, which means traditional wives, or we could be single, happy, and partying with our friends and have no kids, no family, no loving husband or someone to share your life with, right?
So I meet a lot of married women who look at
I think I need to make a clip out of this. I'm gonna bookmark this. 5:43 is the minute.
my life and wish they could have what I have, you know, to be successful, to be on TV doing various things, and really to be cultivating the kind of community that I want to have for myself.
But that's not life. That's just a false imitation of life.
How's it
the
not life?
TV thing and the party thing and the degree thing are going to fade away, and then you're going to be lonely.
Yep.
Reality is going to set in, and you're going to think, what happened? Because all that stuff is not fulfilling you.
Oh, it
It's
is.
just giving you an ego gratification, but it does nothing for the real you.
Well, I was talking about
What's up, Benjamin? One love, bro.
When you're alone, you feel lonely.
No, I
because
have
the
my
man is not
spirituality.
around.
I have my community of women and fellow practitioners. Not all of them are women, but many of them are. So I have a group of people, not to mention my biological family, who love me and support me, who I see regularly. And that's what we need in our lives. We don't have to have a marriage to be happy. In fact, one of my friends, her mother was married for nearly 50 years, and they got separated. And when my friend talked to her mom about it, she said, you know, you can feel really lonely in a marriage.
Right. The man and the woman feel alone because even with the marriage, it doesn't fulfill the soul of the person. It's
That
just
happens a
two
lot.
people come together to make babies, to raise a family. But the real love comes from God, of course, but it doesn't fulfill. But to be a woman and to get old and don't have that is hard for the
I
woman.
think a lot of people want to scare women with that. They want to be like, you're going to be old one day, and no man's going to
No, I'm
want you.
hearing it from women all the time.
Let me tell you something. I went to the Anita Baker concert, you know, when she was like, I'm retiring, and then she didn't retire because she got.
Right.
But anyways, it was amazing, this concert. And Stevie Wonder showed up. Like a surprise guest, Stevie Wonder just got on the stage. I don't know if I'm about to get in trouble for what I'm about to say. But anyway, let me tell you how Stevie Wonder was trying to holler at Anita Baker. I mean, the way, like, just the interactions between them. I'm not sure how old Anita Baker is, but I think that she's over 70. You know, she's at least in her mid-60s.
So she's still alive?
Anita Baker is an amazing songstress, and
No, I know
everyone
she
still
can
shows
sing,
up for
she
her.
perform well.
Yeah,
I didn't
but-
know she was still alive, though.
But the point that I'm making is that I'm waiting for the age where men stop looking at me. I mean, it's like, it doesn't even matter what I'm wearing. If I'm somewhere, men see me, they think, oh, maybe this is my shot. This is what a lot of women endure. So I don't think that the question of aging out of men's interests is really a real one.
Well, men, when they're looking at you, they're not thinking, they probably think you're pretty, I guess, but they're also thinking, I want her for sex.
Yeah.
They're not thinking they want to marry you or anything.
And that's the problem a lot of black women experience.
How do you feel about that?
That's a problem for me personally. I mean, unless I'm also sexually interested in that person, which doesn't happen a lot. But
Damn.
overwhelmingly, black women are not viewed as being worthy of sexual relations.
I was gonna say the same thing. World Debt Now says people in the chat. He says people know that Stevie is blind, right?
Relationships, long-term sexual partnerships. Usually, when people are looking for a long-term romantic partnership, they're looking.
Stevie's probably like going like this, trying to find the thing, and then Anita was there. He grabbed onto her, and she's like, "Look, he tried to grab onto her, and he liked her." And it's like, he's blind, bro.
Looking for someone who is sufficiently white, and all of the data show this.
Right, it is, but because they can't find a black woman that they know that they can be one with, they can have a family with. They're not going to have to fight with her all the time and blah, blah, blah. So they look outside of the black race because they're looking for a woman that won't be trying to be equal to the man and won't be all nasty, and you know how black women are.
I mean, I know how stereotypes about black women are, and
but
I
you
know
know how
that
they
white
Well, stereotypes mean something, don't they? There's a reason behind the stereotype.
guys are the ones who invented those.
What?
White people
We could pull up Myron Gaines, and he'll tell you all about that stereotype.
have invented the stereotype of black women being
But we can
sapphires,
see it.
angry,
We can see
screaming.
it for ourselves.
You mean to tell me
You know-
you've never seen an angry white woman?
No, I'm not saying I've never seen it, but I'm saying that majority of black women are angry and out of control, and so black men
There's
are
no
seeing-
data on that. You made that up.
I don't need data on it. I see it by myself. Common sense shows it to me, right?
No, you cannot.
And I hear
That's-
other men say
No.
that too. They don't want a black woman because they don't want to deal with the attitude. So how do you feel with professional black men, basketball players and governors or whatever, they end up marrying non-black women. What do you think about that?
I think that in many instances, what they're trying to do is move up the status hierarchy. You know, it's so easy these days for people to pretend like every relationship is about love. Most relationships are not about love, at least these ones that are supposed to be through the romantic circuit. They're often about status.
But black
She acts like she knows, yet she has no experience of what she's talking
women
about.
have money now because they got this false education thing. So why would they marry a black woman for the status? She got the same money or even more money than the white woman. Why wouldn't they marry a black woman with money for status?
Status isn't just about money, it's about access. So you can be a wealthy black woman, but you can still be in places where white people won't want you there.
Like what?
Whereas if you are a black man with a white woman, you might find that it's a little bit easier to move through the world. You might find a little bit more social fluidity. That's what many of them are after. And the money doesn't hurt too, because they often have more money.
But that doesn't exist. That's not true about the access thing.
Oh, yeah. It's absolutely true.
I want to ask you about body fat.
Uh-oh.
You write a book about that too in your book.
Sort of. It's about fat phobia.
Yeah, fat phobia. Yeah.
This is something that really gets on my nerves. This body fat phobia BS. Let's listen to what she says, and then I'll tell you what I think.
You write, it sounds or seems, and I may be wrong, that you're blaming white people that black women are fat. You said it had slavery, and that in the slavery days.
What is happening?
You said during slavery, the white people, and correct me if I'm calling you wrong, of course, because I don't have it in front of me right now. You said something like the white people made the black women fat.
No, I didn't say
or
that.
The white women, the black women were already fat, and the white woman was not fat.
No, I didn't say that either.
And so they made the white skinny look beautiful, and fat black women look bad.
That's not what happened at all.
What are you saying with that?
What I'm actually saying is that race scientists were trying to identify ways to keep race going because skin color was no longer a very good proxy, right? There was all of this sex happening between supposedly black and supposedly white populations, creating all of these light-skinned people. So they said, okay, we need to build up our racial scientific ideas. It's not just about skin color, it's other stuff too. It's about how much they eat. Black people are greedy and they tend to be fat. And we don't want ourselves to be like that because we're good, restrained, white Christians, right? So that was really the genesis of the idea. Because for a very long time, as we can see in Renaissance art, there were plenty of voluptuous, fat, curvaceous, fleshy white women who were deemed the epitome of beauty. You look at the work of Peter Paul Rubens or Titian or Michelangelo. I mean, there's so many different artists who were drawing fleshy, beautiful white women.
You can see that now if you go down to Alabama.
Okay, they're still drawing them.
You're going to see some fat white women down there too. They had a smorgasbord.
Stop it.
And so you're going to see fat white women and fat black women go up to that smorgasbord line 8 times.
And all of them are worthy of respect.
Big as a house.
No matter what their size.
They
That's
black
the
and
main
white
point.
though.
Yeah, okay, well, fine, yeah.
So
race scientists?
So fat black women didn't come
What
from
is she
white
talking
people.
about?
No, fat black women have always existed, and fat black women will always exist.
It's funny, too, when I read that, I reflected, and when I was growing up, before the Civil Rights Movement again, I don't ever remember seeing fat black women, either old or young. And as a matter of fact, all of my girls, the girls I dated, they had amazing body, little tiny waistline, thin and...
What's this have to do with their character?
No, I'm just saying that slavery, white people didn't make fat black women. Because in the good old days when blacks was in charge of their own life, they knew that fat was a health issue. You know, and that's why they lived longer too, because they didn't get fat. One of the reasons, right? Because they knew that fat can cause high blood pressure, it can cause other disease. And so even without being told by some white man, they took care of themselves. So I don't even remember seeing fat black women until I went to the city, up to Indiana and Chicago and those places. And that's when those women were fat up there.
Yeah, I mean, you could be any size and be healthy. Being
no,
thin
but
doesn't
being
make you
fat
healthy.
is not healthy.
You can absolutely
That's
be
why
a fat,
those
healthy
women
person.
live long, because they were not.
BB Drifter says these people have created an entire alternative reality that they exist in. Yeah, they did that from victimhood, from blaming everyone else but themselves.
Fat.
And now all the lefties do the same thing. If you look at the lefty ideologies, it's based on blaming everyone else but yourselves, taking zero responsibility for anything you do in your own life.
Are you trying to suggest that the life expectancy of black women is decreasing since you were born? Because I feel like that's not true.
Yeah, and those fat ones.
No, there's no evidence of that.
They have, yes, they do. They have high blood pressure.
No.
They have heart
Diabetes.
attacks.
No.
They can't walk as fast.
So now,
and they stay hungry.
A lot of this is based on
they stay hungry.
Medicine. And unfortunately, even the actual medical industry reproduces these ideas. This is false. The whole idea about obesity relies on something known as...
All right, let's go to Myron Gaines, bro. Come on now.
What do you say about the chat saying that you can't pull a black woman?
I would say, why would I? Why would I? You could have them, bro.
Why wouldn't you?
They could have them, man. I'm not competing for LaQuisha. You guys can have her, man.
Well, every black woman ain't LaQuisha. What you mean?
Look, I say that's look, I'm fucking around. But when they say dumb shit like that, oh, you can't pull a black woman, like that's just like cope a lot of the times, because they're saying what that really, let me decode the stupidity for you. When people say dumb shit like that, translation, you're not willing to tolerate the bad behavior that naturally comes with a lot of black women. Because let's be honest, let's deal with the stereotypes here, right? I'm an open racist towards everybody. Let's deal with the black stereotypes. Black women are fat, loud, crass, annoying, have attitudes, and they don't respect male authority. There's a bunch of reasons for this, but I'll go over simply. The average black woman weighs 187 pounds. A lot of them grow up in a single mother household where they're told every single day, niggas ain't shit. There is no patriarch in the family a lot of the times. This is just what goes on. Then when you listen to the rap music, what are they saying? Fuck niggas, get money, blah, blah, blah. It's just shitting on black men all day. And then the black men that are in their life a lot of the times, not every single time, but a lot of the times, they're criminals, they're fathers that weren't there, they're crooks, and it's just like a never-ending cycle where there's no real patriarch.
Is he lying or what? Is he spitting facts? Damn, guys.
In the household.
He just laid it out.
And then on top of that, you know, a lot of black women grow up without men in the house. Then they're becoming extremely men.
Those were just straight facts. He actually literally just stated facts. I want to hear this one more time. Those are straight facts. Hang on a second.
The bad behavior that naturally comes with a lot of black women. Because let's be honest, let's deal with the stereotypes here, right? I'm an open racist towards everybody. Let's deal with the black stereotypes. Black women are fat, loud, crass, annoying, have attitudes, and they don't respect male authority. There's a bunch of reasons for this, but I'll go over simply. The average black woman weighs 187 pounds. A lot of them grow up in a single mother household where they're told every single day, niggas ain't shit. There is no patriarch in the family a lot of the times. This is just what goes on. Then when you listen to the rap music, what are they saying? Fuck niggas, get money, blah, blah, blah. It's just shitting on black men all day. And then the black men that are in their life a lot of the times, not every single time, but a lot of the times, they're criminals, they're fathers that weren't there, they're crooks, and it's just like a never-ending cycle where there's no real patriarch in the household. And then on top of that, you know, a lot of black women grow up without men in the house. Then they're becoming extremely masculine. Now, this is fantastic when it comes to survival, getting a job, making your way through life. But this is terrible when it comes to attracting masculine men. Masculine men don't want masculine women in return. That would make you probably more than likely gay if you're attracted to yourself, right? And I always use that.
He makes a great point. I actually just had a talk with someone about this recently. Acting like that does not attract the type of man that they think that, that they're going to end up wanting when they get older.
Analogy, because whenever
it doesn't.
That's your lane, Molly.
Because here's the thing with black women, right? They'll sit there and they'll say, oh, you can't handle me. And I'll say, why the fuck should I? Because let me tell you this. If you went up to a black woman and you said, hey, look, I like to wear heels on Saturdays, she'll be like, ew, what the fuck? She'd curve you. Rightfully so. That's weird. But why is it that we're supposed to accept masculine black women when they would never accept feminine black men? They never would. So why the hell should I accept a woman that behaves like a man when she would never accept me for behaving like a woman? And this is the insane double standard where they'll sit there and say, you need to accept me the way that I come, but women never accept us the way that we come. We have to self-improve. Why don't they have to self-improve? So when they say dumb shit like that, saying, oh, you can't handle a black woman, or why don't you date them? What that really means is, why are you not dealing with the stereotypical, loud, obnoxious, crass, rude black woman? And I'm saying no, because I don't want to date myself. So if I've dated a black woman before that are polite, feminine, not fat, respectful, speak proper English, they say ask instead of ax, like all these things. And that's what I like. So if I'm going to be around that, great. I don't really care about skin color like that. I have a preference. It just so happens that a lot of the times black women don't adhere to these preferences because they're indoctrinated to have this mindset of, let me challenge a man, let me be rambunctious, let me go ahead and chase a career and basically be the man that I want to get. And I'm not with that.
That's
How
fair.
do you feel about that, Kim?
I agree with a lot of what he said. I've said before, I don't think that just in general, we'll even speak on black women because that's who he's talking about. I don't think that black women are taught to be wives. Whereas, you know, this black woman, if she's going to college to get her degree, these white girls were taught to be wives. They were taught to look for a man to take care of them. They were taught to look for husbands. They're going to college to look for a husband. They're going to be more submissive. They're going to be more passive because they're playing the long game.
And you want to hear something crazy too? You know, it's funny. The white
She brings up a good point. And that's why I was having this conversation with Miss Medikation's younger sister. I was like, look, you know, as a woman, you have to get good at recognizing a good man, the kind of man that you want to raise a family with, that you want to spend the rest of your life with. You have to get good at doing that. And she just mentioned a good thing. She said that the white girls in colleges are out there. They're looking for good men. They're looking for that kind of real man that they want to spend the rest of their life with. They're not there trying to, like, you know, of course they're getting their degree, they're getting educated, but it's not like what the other girls are there for. Other girls are there to go and stomp on men in their careers and outwork their men in their careers. And if they're going to outwork men and try to advance and become higher in their careers than their men, that means they have less time to be the type of woman that an alpha male wants, someone that makes money, is a provider, is a protector, is the leader of the family. They are not going to be able to have the time to have children, raise the children, and be that type of wife that kind of man that they actually want is looking for.
white girls be the biggest hoes. I'd be warning people with these college education.
And those women that are doing that end up with beta males.
Beta male.
That's what they end up with.
Beta male. White girls, like if they join a sorority and shit like that, I tell guys all the time, like, bro, you know, you also don't want to wife up a whore. So, like, you know, winds up happening a lot of times with black women because.
Mike Clark in the chat says we all need betas to build our coffee so we can get the real work done. Yep, exactly.
Black women are very narrow in what they like a lot of the times. They prefer black men overwhelmingly. But the problem on the black male side is black men will take whatever, right? So that's kind of the issue where you run into a problem with a lot of black women. Also, black women.
What's up, Le Greek?
Tend to favor looks a lot more.
He says, "What's up, Medimaniacs?"
Than other races.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, I guess, maybe a masculine trait. But black women tend to be more interested in the way that they dress, the way they conduct themselves, you know, the way they look, etc. Like, it's very interesting how I've noticed that with black women, they tend to be the race that is very interested in the way a man looks, which is fine. You can have your preferences. But what the problem with that is it dilutes your marketplace of men that you are going to open yourself up to. And when black women go to college and they educate themselves, etc., they kind of bring that percentage down even more so as they climb up the ranks. But like with white girls, you know, you're right. They go to college. They're looking for a husband while they're there in school a lot of times, because a lot of times they don't even want to work their shitty ass, you know, HR job that they end up getting. But they end up being hoes a lot of the times, if we're going to be honest. So that's another thing that I tell guys to watch out for when it comes to the white girls, because every every group of women has their stereotypes that guys got to look out for.
Carrie, what do you think? Carrie, what do you?
Timothy says, Miss Medication has a sister. Hook me up. It says jokes, bro. No, she's actually too young, bro. I'm teaching her at a young age to learn this stuff, to understand this stuff. She's just starting to get to that age of dating, and I'm like, and I'm trying to lay the knowledge down now, you know, to start that now. So when the time comes for her to get in her 20s, early 20s, or whatever the case is, she already is more intentional when she's looking into the world, looking at men, dating men. She's already going to be seasoned and knows how to find, or knows what to look for in the man, you know, to find that type of alpha male that will be her provider, protector, and her leader.
What do you think about
the narrative between black, white, cultural norms, black women not necessarily being taught to look for husbands, all of that type of stuff. What do you think about everything that's being communicated in a general sense?
I agree with a lot of what he just said. I don't know if it's that women are not necessarily being taught to be wives per se, as much as taught to be wives that men want. Because
Zoom in on her.
everybody is not taught to go be an independent woman void of a man. Like some women are genuinely taught to go marry, but they're also taught to have a career at the same time. They're taught to have kids, but they're taught to go get an education. So they're not taught to not be a wife, but they're also not necessarily taught to prioritize being a wife. They're not necessarily taught the characteristics that a husband that they want.
Echo 805, your sentence doesn't make sense, but I think I understand what you're saying. Echo 85 says, what is any of that have to do with love? And then he says, trust me, the type of man that they think they want, they're not going to be happy with. It just hasn't played out yet.
Would actually look.
I think you have a better chance of love when you do what's natural between men and women for humans since the beginning of time. It's very natural for the men to be the leaders and protectors of the family, and the women and the men go to war. Men protect their home, protect their cave, let's just say, or whatever the case is back in the day leading up till now. And then you have women that were stay back, protect the children, and raise the children, teach the children, raise. Of course, you need men to teach the children as well, but that's a more natural kind of order of things for humans, and I feel that you find more love within that structure.
Looking for.
So
because everybody doesn't come from a broken home either. I mean, I know a lot, we say that a lot, and I'm not downing the numbers on it, but everybody doesn't come from a broken home. A lot of people have a 2-parent example, but they might not necessarily know how to be the wife that they want the husband.
It's not just a black issue. It's a whole U.S. issue. The nuclear family has been destroyed, and there's a bunch of reasons for that. Feminism, etc., has been, I think, one of the biggest.
Sharon in the chat brings up a good point. Sharon says, yes, being a leader is a serving position. It very well could be. I mean, it depends how you look at it. And it is a serving position. Being a protector is a serving position. Being a provider is a serving position. And sometimes, you don't get all the love that you deserve as a man for doing these types of things. Men, they go and they kill themselves to be successful and to be able to be providers. I mean, not all of them these days, now way less these days, but and it's a brutal world out there for men. There's a lot that men have to do and have to, compete against to be providers, to be successful, to be the type of man that women want. There's a lot that goes into that. And then people want to say, let's cut it down into race. Like even for white people, white men, it's hard. You know how many other white men they have to compete with, other black men and other successful Asian men and all these other men they have to compete with to be successful? It's a lot. There's a lot going on out there. For a man to be successful, it's not easy. And that's why women should learn how to find these types of men and stick to that and do that.
Problems when it comes to degradation of the nuclear family. But what I will say is, because you mentioned a good point that women, they're told to go to school and pursue. And I would say, right, if someone wanted to lose weight, right, and they truly wanted to change their body, they would have to change everything about their lifestyle. They'd have to start going to sleep 8 to 10 hours a night. They'd have to prioritize going to the gym. They would have to change their entire lifestyle around to be able to achieve that goal. Here's the problem.
Beautiful Bill says all men want a weekend with a dominant woman every now and then. I don't know what that, I don't know, maybe I'm not really sure about that, but I would say this, when you talk about a dominant woman or something like that, or I would say for the men that are the alpha males looking for the right woman, that is that type of woman that will be the supporter and that will be the partner in that life where, she wants to be the woman those are powerful women. We're not saying women can't be powerful or shouldn't be powerful or shouldn't be strong women or no, you want women that are really good at being a woman. And there's a lot to that. And there's a lot of strength to that.
We tell women that they can kind of live their life the way that they want, and there's going to be a good man at the end waiting for them. And the problem is, if you want a guy to take care of you, well, then you need to be in a position where you're prioritizing finding that guy. Because the days of, and this is kind of the conundrum of feminism, right? So what feminism effectively did was it gave women the autonomy to pursue a career, make their own money, and become successful and be on their own. But what that also did was it ostracizes the average man from the dating and relationship marketplace, because women will never admit this, but I'll say it for you guys. There's nothing worse for a woman than settling on a guy that she feels that she could do better than, right? And what ends up happening is with a lot of average men, 5'8", making 30 to 50K per year, a lot of women see better than that in America. Even average looking women feel that they could do better than that, right? There's nothing worse than an average guy to a majority of women. So what women do is they'll go to school, they'll pursue an education, they'll become successful. And what they're hoping is that there's going to be a guy more successful, more attractive, more ambitious than her at the end of that road. But what she's effectively done, because she's become average herself or better than average, is she's just now ostracized a majority of men that would have been a great candidate for her before. But feminism has made it where women are told not to settle, become independent. But you got to ask yourself, who are they independent of? They're independent of men. We don't walk around and say, oh, we're strong and independent. You guys will laugh at us like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all niggas? But we run around and we praise women for being independent all the time. But we don't ask ourselves, independent of who? It's of men. Of which men in particular? The majority, AKA the average man. Most women are chasing the same small 10 percentile of guy. 6 foot plus, 100K per year, good career, charming, love dogs, asshole, but at the same time, you know, a nice guy. Like, they're looking for something that's very difficult to find in one guy. So when you've made the
he makes a great point.
Topic like, hey, women are told to go, you know, get their money, but at the same time also kind of be a wife. The problem is that for the caliber of guy that they're looking for, right? Ironically enough, they need to prioritize finding a husband. But the problem is that they're pursuing a career so much that they don't have the time and a lot of the times interest to even pursue this guy. Like, and this is another controversial take, and I'll say this real quick.
Echo makes a point in the chat. Echo says, you were given more muscle to protect the woman who was given more fat so she could support life. That's the only DNA advantage that there is. There is nothing today providing is a lot different than it was when we went rabbit. I would say, yeah, to protect. Yep. To protect and to build and to, you know, feed the family, all those things.
Quick, and I'd love to get the ladies' take on this. I say all the time, women lack empathy. Okay.
And to be men have this mindset to be leaders, to be decision makers, to do what's right for the family. If we got to pack up and go somewhere else right now, I'm speaking from the caveman days till now. I mean, it's like, you know, you got, oh shit, we got to move. We got to do this. Okay, this is going to be better for us if we do that. There's a storm coming. We got to do this. Oh, you know, there's no more, you know, there's no more food to be had in this area. We need to go migrate over there. Okay, this is what we're going to do. All of this stuff, you know, it's all important.
They have sympathy, but they don't have empathy. And I'll explain what I mean by this. So men, we understand innately that we need to go out there and improve ourselves, make money, get some status, etc., so that we could be a catch. We understand that we're a bum working at McDonald's. We ain't getting no bitches. We accept this reality. Yep. Women, though, however, I notice don't understand this. I'll give you an example. A girl will open up an Instagram, have pictures of herself all over the internet being a thot. She'll go pursue a career. She'll do a bunch of twerking stuff on the internet. She'll wear weird weaves. She'll do all this kind of crazy stuff, right? And what'll happen is she'll do all this not knowing that, like, men, though they might look at you from an attraction standpoint, they're not actually wanting to take you seriously. And this is what I mean when I say women lack empathy. They kind of know what men like, but they don't know what men are actually attracted to and want to commit to. And that's where the disconnect happens. So what ends up happening is they get with a guy, they know how to kind of get the guy just by existing, but it's very difficult for them to keep the guy. And this comes from this lack of training where women are prioritizing career and not necessarily not just attracting the guy, but keeping him long term. And this is where so many women fail, because any girl can get a guy. That's not the hard part. The hard part is, can you get a guy that you actually like and get him to commit to you? And this is where women fail because they lack empathy.
Great point. Really good point. First of all, can you go get the type of guy that you want? And then are you able to hold on to that guy? Because the kind of guy that you want not going to put up with some, bullshit. He won't.
And what I mean by empathy is they don't understand men. We have to understand women to attract them. Women don't have to understand us to attract us, because all y'all got to do is be available, look kind of hot, and we'll come talk to you. And we have to do all the work in the beginning. Well, but where women fail is they don't do the work after the guy puts in the work to attract her to retain that guy. That's where a lot of women make the mistake and aren't really able to keep the things. And this is why I'm saying, the education system and us women prioritizing their success has overrode their ability to retain men, if that makes sense.
What do you think about that, Mika and Molly?
Oh no, he's 100% correct. I mean, that's exactly what my father always taught me. So he's absolutely correct. And then, the women, anytime, and we've talked about this tons of times on this panel, anytime the women are, in a belief mindset that, I have, they'll call it pick me, they'll call it, you're trying to, follow the man and everything. And if you say yes, because that's literally what I was taught, then it's, okay, well, it's always something bad. It's always something downtrodden. He's going to leave. What if he leaves? What if he does this? What if he does that? It's never looking at it from the standpoint of trying to have a family unit. Everything is a risk, right? But it seems like in today's society with feminism, if you prioritize this, then if this happens, at least you have a job, at least you have a degree, at least you have, money. It's not prioritized as it may be a risk, but at the end of the day, you may have a family.
And here's the other thing too, I really want to bring to light what you just said, because what you just said is extremely important with the concept of calling women pick-me's, right? This is a very pernicious cycle that I've noticed in modern women, where they'll see women doing what's required to actually attract a man, like whether it's being super submissive, being super nice, listening to their man, dressing the way that their man wants, cooking for him or whatever. They're doing these traditional roles. And I don't know what it is, but women look at this and it's like their knee-jerk to reaction to say, oh, you're a pick-me. Oh, you're being caved in by your man. Like this girl right now is literally going viral. Emily Saves America. She's supposed to be a conservative. And she talks about, hey, well, you should probably still get a job. You should still get a hobby, blah, blah, blah. And that goes against conservatism. And that's why I say a lot of these women that are conservatives are really undercover feminists, because what they're doing is they're teaching women this pernicious cycle you just mentioned with this whole don't be a pick-me or whatever, because we have an entire society that tells women, hey, don't do anything for the express consent for a man. You need to put yourself first, not knowing that if you actually want to keep a guy first, you actually have to put yourself second. Your job is the aid, the assistant, the helpmate, because when a man is put forward, when we win, you win by extension. But if we put the woman forward and the woman wins, what ends up happening is the woman's like, I don't need this nigga. His job is to provide it for me. I'm the one providing. This is why I tell guys all the time, you got to be the leader, and the girl's got to like you more than you like her. Because since women are the ones used to being pursued, the only time they're going to respect the man is when they're finally pursuing, because they never do that. So that's how they're able to distinguish, do I got a winner or a loser? Am I following him or is he following me? Because this whole I'm going to build my wife up, I'm going to move for her and her career. I tell
that's another really good point.
Guys never do that, because when you do that, what you've inadvertently done is you've given her the frame and the leadership role in the relationship. And though women will sit there and say, I want to be equal partner, what I've realized is their actions never actually reflect that. They want you to be the leader. They want you to dictate the terms. And the biggest way for that to happen is by her kind of submitting to and having this pick-me thing that a lot of women use. But whenever I see women say, put it this way, ladies, if girls are calling you a pick-me, you're doing something very right. Do not listen to the feminist propaganda that tries to almost when men insult each other and emasculate each other, when women tell each other that, oh, you're a pick-me or you're an idiot for following a man, or you're stupid, or you could do better. That's all shaming language to keep you from having a man. One of the biggest things, and I'll end with this. This guy, the Truth Desire, something like that, he interviewed a divorce attorney, is the main bottom line here. And he asked the divorce attorney, she's a female divorce attorney, hey, who initiates most of the divorces and why? And she said something that I've been saying for years, and I thought it was awesome because it finally vindicated me. She said the women initiate the divorces, and a big reason why they do it is because they get talking to their girlfriends, and their girlfriends put shit in their ear. And it's back to that cycle you just mentioned with pick me, you do everything for him, blah, 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 all this other stuff. And women will see other girls happy with a guy in a good relationship, and they'll try to ruin that and be like, why are you with him? You can do better. Oh, he has Sim. Oh, look, he's controlling. He's XYZ. When in reality, he's everything that she wants. But since they're not happy and they don't got what they want, because it's so much harder to find a mate for women, they'll sit there and try to tear her shit down. And that's one of the, I tell girls, if you have a relationship, get rid of all your single friends. They're going to lead you astray.
Damn, that was a good one. I like that one. I saved it. Good stuff, dude. Good stuff.
What we've effectively.
All right, let's do that. So right now, guys, it's 2 p.m. in SoCal. I'm going to call it a session, and I'm going to come back in the evening. So I'll be back on around, like, I'll say 6 p.m. Pacific, and we'll jump back on and have a good time. Guys, thank you for joining today. That was a great session. We had a phenomenal chat. If you want to chat offline, with everyone, we got Discord, bro. I got Discord. Go to my channel homepage on YouTube, and you'll see links. There's a link to Discord. You could join the Discord. State Line has a link to Discord. You can copy and paste that into your browser, or better yet, like he said earlier, take a picture of the screen and then click on the link that you see on your picture. That would take you to the Discord. We're chatting there offline if you want to hang out and stuff. Thank you, Benjamin. Thank you, State Line, Echo, Random, Drifter, all you guys, dude. All you guys in the chat. Draco, what's up, dude? Didn't see you there. Magic, Slim, dude. Everybody, dude. CR, holy cow, James, the other James. But dude, appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Thank you for joining. And we're gonna be on in the evening. See you guys. Have a good one.